promo before the news. Red Sox and White Sox tonight here on TIC 610. Yanks have a matinee at Wrigley against the Cubs. They're up 3-0 in the third. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special, both for you and your partner. At Northeast Men's Health, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if
10 seconds.
Doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 5 offices in the Northeast to serve you.
Just revealed today, and I hope you're going to do a story because it's a big story. The Southern District of New York was, and this is a very highly respected group of people. He said it was a disgrace that that case was brought. It was a disgrace that the case was brought in front of Mershon. The case is a disgrace. Should have never been brought.
What's going on, everybody? It's Reese On The Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. It's time for the airing of grievances.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
So make sure you give us a call. The number is 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. And don't forget, you can go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com, so you can watch my beautiful voice on the air as well. You can put me up on the television. But if you're driving, just listen. Just listen on the Odyssey app or right there in your car. We got plenty of news and plenty of views to get into today. I think we're going to have to take yesterday's conversation at the 5 o'clock focus and sort of bring it on, grab it and pull it on over to today's program because, of course, there have been so many developments about the shooting in Georgia. With the 14-year-old child and now his father, who has been sort of lumped in with criminal charges for that shooting at the school. We'll get into all of that in great detail. And we'll take your phone calls. And I want to kind of also bring in that conversation we were having yesterday. A gentleman called in that was a police officer who's been in law enforcement for almost 30 years, talking about how beneficial it would be for police officers to be in the schools. And he went to some extent to talk about how the budget has played a role in keeping that from happening, as well as our elected officials, Chris Murphy in particular. I don't want to beat up on him. I do that enough on this program, but he plays a role in that, as do others. But we'll get into all of that. But I do want to talk about something that was really interesting in a lot of the stories that I read today about the 14-year-old. And these stories are red flags, without a doubt. But there's something missing in the conversation. And look, I don't pat myself on the back. I know it's always going to sound like I'm doing it. And if I am, again, I apologize in advance. But I never read these stories. I never look at these stories or watch them on television without a keen sense of what's missing from them. Immediately when I hear someone doing a report, on a story, I find out the things that everyone's repeating, and then I pay very close attention to the things that they don't say. Let me give you an example. There is a story out there. Many of you have heard it. Many of you have not. There's a story about his mother, who has spent some 17 years in and out of the criminal justice system. His mother has a substance abuse problem and may very well be just a horrible parent. But there was one story that got to me, and it's just a story. There is no commentary and no one's focusing on it. It's a story about neighbors who saw this mother lock this child out of the house for an extended period of time while the child screamed and hollered, "Mom, mom, mom, please let me in." The only reason why that story has been reported, because witnesses now are saying that they saw it, that they witnessed it. Allow me to bring this back and talk about myself, because I think it plays a role in understanding why that story got to me and why no one went any further than just describing that event, and that bothered me. I'll never forget a time that my mom went buck wild, beating me, my brothers, my sisters, with a switch. Many of you have gone through that, especially those of us in the Black and Latino community may have experienced that. Some, even in the inner city, white kids have experienced that. You have to go out and get your own switch. But this particular time, my mom got the switches. Oh, and they were durable. But the day that my mom beat me with this switch, and my brother and sister, she didn't leave whelps, marks on our arms. She cut into the skin. And we're talking like slices into the skin, leaving, like, producing blood, as if you were being whipped. And I went to school the next day. My mom made me go to school with scabs, long scabs across my arm. And if you're watching me on ReeseOnTheRadio.com, you can see I'm showing it visually. But they were all across my arms, each one roughly about 2 to 3 inches long. Obviously, blood had she had gotten to the white meat, as my mom used to say, because I had scabs all across my arms, both of them, all the way up, on my back as well. My mom beat me with these switches. But she sent me to school the next day. Most abusers would do far worse, just beat you and keep you at home, never let anyone see the abuse you were subjecting your child to. Oh, by the way, I was in the 5th grade. Every kid in class saw those marks, and so did every teacher. So did every administrator. They saw me. I was walking through the halls. In fact, it was at school, you know, when you used to walk from class to class in 2 lines, boys on one side, girls on the other. Oh, yeah. You would walk past our class, and you could see my arms with these marks on them, scabs on all over my arms. They all knew they were there. Not one person reported it. Not one. Teacher, no one. And this went on for years. So when I read that story about this 14-year-old, again, this is not excusing what he did. I'm talking about one layer of this story. Just hear me out. When I heard that story, that everyone, and again, what did we hear today, yesterday, as more developments? Everyone knew this kid was being abused, not just by students in school, but by his parents at home. The father, I don't know, we're learning more about him, but it turns out the father, he may very well be culpable. It's sounding like it. I'll see what the evidence is for these second-degree murder charges when we get them. I think they're out there. And in fact, I'm going to search and see if they're out to make sure, because I've been looking for them all day, but I kind of got distracted. But when I heard this about the fact that the kid was being bullied in school, according to the father, he was accused of being gay. Kids were mocking him, bullying him regularly. In the 2013 investigation, when the police came to his house, the father revealed this about the child, which again gives me pause. Why would the father then give this kid a gun as a Christmas gift thereafter, if not to give this kid an inkling into doing something nefarious? Just me speculating. But this kid was in a situation that apparently everyone knew about, because they're coming out of the woodworks. Yeah, we knew this. Yeah, we knew that. Yeah, we saw this. Yeah, we saw that. One girl who was interviewed, you've seen it on X, the young lady, who said that he fit the characteristics of someone who fit the description of a school shooter. Before the shooting ever happened, that's what they thought. That was the running theme with this young man. Nothing. No one said a word. Now, I got in a debate yesterday with Tim and Hamden, and there was this, he and I had that conversation about mental health. In this case, you can make the argument that there's a mental health issue here. However, there's clearly abuse and neglect and horrible parenting to boot. But no one said anything. This, in my view, this isn't to distract from or to divert any attention from what's gone on. People died. Others were injured. People now have to struggle and deal with this when they either get back to school or try to get back to their daily lives. I do not. I don't ignore that one bit. But there's something in all of this that's being ignored. And it's something I've been talking about for the past 15, maybe 20 years. We're not engaged anymore with anything or anyone. We're not. There are things happening in these schools or in our communities that people are ignoring. If you see a young child outside banging on the door, begging for his mother to let him back into the house, when you know that that's wrong and no one said a word, that's just community negligence. What would you do if you saw a kid running out into the street and was about to get hit by a car? Would your attitude be, well, it's not my kid. It's none of my business. I don't want to give it. I'll give you an example. True story, really happened. I'm on 1st Avenue in Manhattan on the Lower East Side. And this guy in a very, very fancy BMW turns the corner. And as he turns the corner, he just doesn't stop, and he rams into the back of another car. Just slams right into the back of it. Bang! When people see the accident, they run towards the car. The guy who got hit in the car ahead of him, he gets out of the car. He runs to the guy who ran into him to go scream at him, and he recognizes that the guy is passed out, completely zonked out, with a needle in his arm in the driver's side. The needle is still hanging from his skin, and he's passed out. He's shooting up in a very fancy, like lime green Mercedes. No one knows what's going on. No one knows whether or not he's passed out or if he's dead or anything. We run around the car and we're trying to open the door. Doors are locked. Can't get them open. Finally, I'm screaming to people, yo, get a rock, get a cinder block, get anything. We need to bash the window open to get this guy out of the car. I kid you not, folks. The reaction was this. I ain't doing that. Nah, if I bash his window, man, he could sue me. I ain't bashing. No, you look at that car. That's expensive, man. I can't pay for that guy's window. That was the attitude. Finally, an ambulance driving down First Avenue stops. I run over to him and I said, do you have a fire extinguisher? He was like, yeah. I grabbed the fire extinguisher and we went to bashing it. Bang. Finally got it open. Finally got the paramedics to help the kid out. They were doing chest compressions, the whole thing. He finally came to. There were at least 60 people surrounding that car just watching. But no one wanted to touch that vehicle. They would sooner leave him there to die than to get involved. That happened in 2007. And I think that that's kind of been the way in which people have been engaging with each other for the longest. Now, I hear this argument about people being divided. I hear this thing about people, being on their side of the fence or playing their team sport, whatever the case is. But when we can't even join together to do something that would be a common good, like calling the police or calling someone when a kid is outside screaming for his mom to let him in the house, when you can clearly see there's abuse going on, just not get involved because you just don't want to get your hands dirty. You don't know what that leads to. But nothing is, for me, nothing is more alarming than to see this play out today and then get all of these backstories, all of these red flags, all of these incidents that everyone knew about. It seems like everyone's coming. And that's the worst part about it, is that people are dead. And now witnesses to things that were happening for 4 or 5 years are all coming out the woodworks. Yeah, I seen them. Yeah, I saw them. Yeah, I seen it. Never once acted. Everyone wants to be a part of the story after people are dead. And I don't, you hear these people who always want to talk about the psychology of this and the psychiatry of that. I haven't found one story talking about why didn't anyone say anything. I didn't hear one person ask anyone that they talked to, any witnesses to any of the issues that happened with this child. I don't hear one reporter saying, well, did you report anything? Did you call the cops? Did you ever help the boy? If you were his neighbor and you saw him screaming for his mom to let him in the house and his mom didn't let him in, did you say, hey, kid, come on over here. Is there anybody else that we can call? That's all, nothing. They just sat there and held it in place until the tragedy happened, and then they start flagging the cops down. I seen it. It's a very, very disturbing place. And I'm not going to say that I'm fearful. I know there are people out there who will do good, who can do good, but we have got to get out of this space. And I'm seeing it far too often. A lot of it happened when we were at the Holiday store a couple of years ago. I talked to a lot of people who came to me, and you know who you are, and I'm not trying to out you in any way or trying to embarrass you in any way, but you remember who you were when you said it. That you can't talk to your neighbor, or you don't really get involved with the people who live next door to you because of this, that, and the third. That is no way to live. It is no way to live. If I see my neighbors outside, Andrew, Priscilla, Jim, they live a house away from me. If I see them outside, I park my car and I walk out and I engage with them. I let them know that I'm engaged with them. I let them know when my wife's birthday is. I let them know when my birthday is. I find out when the kids' birthdays are. We talk to the kids about them going to college. I got to do it because I learned this back in 2008. People just move into a place and they stay isolated in their own places. If you're not paying attention to what's around you or even the people around you, something's going to happen and you're going to be shocked and your entire world's going to be, completely turned upside down. Why? Because we chose to stay in our own little spaces. And I get it. I understand some people are introverts. They're just not, they're not outwardly like that. I'm gregarious. You're never going to see me be quiet. I get into an event. I don't sit, I'm not a wallflower. Never will be. But you got to step out of that zone. Don't let the rest of the world determine who you're going to get to know or whether or not that person's going to make. Just don't let the fate be beyond you. It is what it is, and I know that things are going to happen. You can't stop it all. But just if you see something like that, you got to say something. It's incumbent on us to be involved. That's how we build communities, if we're even to have any. We'll take a break. Your phone calls and so much more about this case because there's a Connecticut connection to it. I'm sure you've heard about it. We'll talk about it when we get back. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for
You're clear.
And be sure to tune in to Johnson
Thank you.
Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Are you struggling with bad feet? Hi, this is Mike. And at the Good Feet store, we hear a lot about foot pain, but we also hear about back, knee, and hip pain. I'd like you to hear what Kelsey, a kinesiologist, has to say about the Good Feet Arch Support System.
As an exercise specialist, I've seen all kinds of things that people try to put in their shoes to get out of pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that they support all 4 arches in the foot.
So did you know you had 4 arches in each foot? Most shoes and inserts only support 1. And maybe that's the reason all those remedies you tried in the past just didn't work.
When the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy. You're going to feel better. Being able to move freely and out of pain means everything to me. And good movement starts with the feet.
Come in today. We're located in Avon at 25 Climax Road across from Whole Foods. Good Feet Arch Supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome.
Labor Day signals that fall is fast approaching. Apple picking, fall leaves, and chilly nights are on the horizon. With Legacy Box, you can cozy up and watch something special this fall. Your family's home movies. Legacy Box is the simple, safe, all-inclusive solution for preserving your family's memories, trapped on videotapes, film, even photos. After 10 years in business, Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer. They've helped over 1 million families relive their wedding days, babies' first steps, and family road trips. Just fill Legacy Box with your VHS tapes, film reels, or pictures. Legacy Box digitizes it all by hand right here in the USA, and then sends it back on a thumb drive or the cloud. Future-proof your recorded moments today so you can gather the family and begin the trip down memory lane. Plus, for a limited time, they're offering 55% off. Go to legacybox.com/value to get 55% off. That's legacybox.com/value.
Isn't it time you thought about an estate plan for your family? Estate planning attorneys help prioritize and carry out personalized asset protection strategies. The law firm of Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott has served the legal needs of individuals and their small businesses since 1977. Our experienced estate planning team is ready to help. With Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, you get more than a lawyer, you get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Nancy Tanucci approved this ad.
And now, a WTIC news update.
76 degrees, partly sunny skies in Hartford. I'm John Silva. The judge has agreed to postpone former President Trump's sentencing in his hush money case until after the November election. Judge's decision today grants Trump a reprieve as he navigates the aftermath of the criminal conviction and the homestretch of his presidential campaign. Elementary school student died overnight in a house fire in Middlefield. Blaze broke out in a home on Dwight Drive. The Region 13 School District Superintendent says the victim was a student at John Lyman Elementary. That investigation is ongoing. Man who jumped into a pond after crashing his vehicle in Vernon Thursday has died. The victim jumped into Paper Mill Pond around 10 after the crash at East Main Street in the Rock Mill section. He's been identified as 33-year-old Julio Feliciano of Hartford. 142,000 jobs added to the rolls last month instead of the 160,000 expected. Stable jobs report, cooler but stable jobs report higher than what was reported in July, 89,000. And the 14-year-old suspect in a shooting that killed 4 people at a Georgia high school this week and his father will both stay in custody following back-to-back court hearings today. WTIC News Time 3:32. Jason Caterina with the forecast.
Well, the rest of our Friday, we'll have a mix of clouds and sun, the high peaking at 80 degrees. Then tonight, under mainly clear skies. Mild but comfortable with the low down to 60. Mainly cloudy for our Saturday. We'll have a bit of rain in the afternoon, the high of 76. Then Sunday, breezy, pleasant, brilliant sunshine, the start of an extended stretch of dry weather, and a beautiful late summer day with the high of 70. Monday, sunny to partly cloudy, warmer, the high of 77. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, partly sunny, 76 right now in Hartford. Wall Street, half hour before the close, the Dow's down 351 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council. Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time.
10 seconds.
Thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
Don't forget, folks, today is the airing of grievances on Reese On The Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. We go directly to your phone calls. Rob's in New Britain. Hello, Rob. You're on Reese On The Radio. Robbie.
Reese Revere. What's up, brother?
How are you, sir?
And Roman, too.
What's going on, sir?
Oh, you know, it's sad what happened. Really sad. And growing up, my mother took in a couple of my sister's friends and then later would take in a couple of my friends. And they would, as long as they followed her rules and paid the rent, but they were given, they were good to go.
Yeah.
And they went on to be prosperous, good people.
It's interesting.
It's sad that no one will.
It's interesting the way that you talk about like your mom in general, right? It's not like it's an experience we've never had before with child neglect. The only thing those kids ever needed was a loving home. It didn't. If the parents didn't love them enough or love them, there was always one parent who sort of made their place the house or the headquarters for their children's friends. And you know, like the kids ended up going there. Sometimes the kids would spend the night and sometimes they'd be there for months. Why? Because either there was something going on at home, but at least they had a safe place to stay because of one parent, like your mom, said, look, I don't care. I know they're probably going to, eat me out of house and home. It kills me that kid would be out in the street or have no one there to love them or care for them. And they would make that sacrifice. Yeah. It's
Absolutely.
just the way that the world works.
Yep. And I want to air my grievance and say this. Voting for Kamala Harris would be like riding a psychotic horse towards a burning barn.
I hope people are hearing you. I believe that many are, sir. Thank you so much, Rob. Let's go to Rob Lick. Rob Lick the Boots on the line. How are you, Rob?
Yes, hello, Reese. Thanks for picking up the call. I just had a response to the let me shut my radio off here.
Okay.
Sorry here.
Okay.
I got the background. But yeah. I grew up and there was an incident when I was I would say 14 years old, just got braces. And as young as the 7 kids.
Yeah.
And one what the heck? I grew up in the projects in, Wallingford.
Yeah.
And one taxi driver got hit in the head. He was bald. He was always bald. Never wore a hat, even if it was snow time out. Well, he got stitches, like 10 or 12 stitches. So I come home, and I was nowhere near what happened. So I come home. My dad says, "You son of a bitch! What the hell? I got to bring you to the police station. I'm tired of this shit."
Hey, Carson.
So he backhanded me.
Did he?
In the car.
Wow.
Going to the police station. So then the guy was there with a bandage on, and they said, unless that kid just cut his hair, the kid who did it had hair to his shoulders.
Ah.
I never had hair to my shoulders.
Well,
so what did
the cop do? I'm sorry.
So the cop, I said, well, isn't this like child endangerment? And my old man said, that's for the freaking next time.
Wow.
So where was the cop? But anyway, that was the only
Yeah, the police officer knew that you had obviously been hit and didn't even engage.
I didn't even do nothing.
Yeah.
So but it wasn't my dad, he never hit me before.
Yeah.
And
wow.
the only time he yelled at me was when there was a flat tire. He said, "Get up on the hill."
Well, that's a normal thing.
Yeah, but so could the cop have arrested my dad at that point? Because I wasn't even.
I would have, if I was an officer, I don't know. They didn't have like what's called a desk appearance
I know
ticket.
what you were saying about this other kid and his parents. And when I grew up, I would go to the next door neighbor and get butter.
I remember those days.
Or eggs.
Yeah.
And I was so embarrassed. And my mother would make me, it's like, geez, Ma, come on, again? So, well, she gets it from me when you're not here. I'm like, I believe her.
Likely story.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the way I grew up, Reese. And
I hear you.
had a great show.
Thank you,
Keep
sir.
it up.
Thank you. Let's go to Mike in Gainesville. Hello, Mike. You're on Reese on the Radio.
Hey, man, it's White Mike.
Oh, White Mike. Hey, what's up? Oh, it's in Gainesville. Okay, I should have guessed that. How are you, sir?
I don't know why it's saying Gainesville. I'm nowhere
That's
near
okay.
Gainesville. Anyway, so I appreciate your personal connection to this story. I get where you're coming from.
I don't want to say personal connection. I'm just saying that I sort of identified with the story about the kid, subjected to abuse by his mother and no one stepping up. That's the only identifier here.
I as someone who was locked out of his home because of something I did when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I don't really want to chalk this up as big an abuse case as making it out to be, just because this autistic tranny kid had a hairy conniption when his mom threw him out of the house doesn't mean that she was, Cruella de Vil.
No. Hold on. Now, first of all, this woman has a 17-year history with substance abuse. No. Hear me out. But there's a lot. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of stories. That was just one in which I was talking about that somebody came forward. That this mother is in and out. By the way, and believe it or not, a mother is an integral part of a child's growing up. Okay, and if this kid was before he was 14. This kid would, I think the mother so far been locked up roughly about 5 years or something along that, or she got a 5-year sentence. But this incident that happened when he was locked out of the house, he was far younger than 14, which again is his age today. That's a very young child to be kicking out of the house and not letting him in while the kid's screaming to get in the house and no one getting involved.
He could have been wiping feces on the wall for all we know.
Oh, come on. But you're speculating. You don't have any kids, Mike, and I hate to say it like that. I'm not trying to say because you don't have kids you can't be empathetic. But I kind of feel like would you have done that to your kid if it was your child was like 8 or 9 years old? Would you have locked them out of the house and just ignored them?
Depends on what he did.
Yeah, we don't know whether or not he did anything. We don't know whether or not the mother was locking him out the house so she can, I don't know, do crack.
Yeah, but neither of us know anything, so this is a nowhere conversation.
Fair enough.
But anyway.
But go ahead, go to your point.
My gripe is they're charging the father with all these crimes.
Yes.
And I understand that people are emotional when it comes to this.
Yes.
And sometimes lose rationality.
Yes.
But the bottom line is, in the state of Georgia, there is no minimum age to own a rifle or a shotgun.
Which they're going to have to legislate, which more than likely will happen.
But maybe not, because, it's a hunting state, and it is a tradition for fathers to hunt with their sons. They sell child-sized rifles just for this purpose. My bigger issue is this is the only crime where we hold one person responsible for the actions of another. It's absolutely ludicrous that he is being charged as an adult, the child.
Yes.
He's being charged as an adult. But in the same breath, someone else is responsible for his actions because the father is also culpable.
It's a very good point. It sort of screams for there's a degree of like either hypocrisy or irony here in some way. Because it's like I'm charging him as an adult. In essence, he's responsible as an adult, but yet we're charging someone as a parent who's responsible for the person you just charged as an adult.
And if he was 16 and he took the truck that his father bought him to a parade route and ran over 30 people, they wouldn't charge the father with vehicular homicide.
It's a good point. And look, like I said, I don't know. I got to read the charging document for the father so that I can get a full scope of because in the charging document, it will have what they consider the evidence that suggests that he's culpable. Right?
I mean, according to Georgia law, the father broke no law. No,
right.
There's no state storage law. There's no law against a 14-year-old owning a rifle. Do I have an issue with the particular rifle he bought this kid and buying a firearm for this particular kid? Was it the wisest choice? No. But when I was his age, I had a Ruger 1022 rifle, which is a semi-automatic 22 with a 10-round magazine that functions exactly the same as an AR pattern rifle and is just as deadly.
I think the negligence here for the father is that this became a Christmas gift after the police visited the home related to a so-called Discord account where the kid may or may not have threatened to shoot up a school.
I'm not saying it was a wise idea.
No.
I'm saying that I don't think anything the father did here was, by the letter of the law, illegal.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think you might be right. I think that charging him with these charges, in some way, I feel if he's get a lawyer that's worth his salt, that a lot of this stuff will probably be thrown out.
The kid in Michigan was a handgun, so I see where that's different.
Yeah.
But according to the law, and if we're going to get to the point in this country now where we're charging people with crimes because somebody else did something and we feel that this person screwed up, that's a slippery slope, pal.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, thank you, Mag. I totally appreciate that. Let's go to our good friend Frank, who's in Woodbridge. Hello, buddy. How you doing?
Good. I don't understand. I understand the Second Amendment. You have to have it. We know that. But this fascination these guys have with guns,
When you say the fascination, who are these guys? Can you be a little more specific?
Well, these young guys I know that they love having a gun. I said, listen, you guys don't have a woman. Get a woman. Forget about the gun. Get a woman if you want to make something.
This is a part that I'm sort of grappling with in this particular case, Frank. So you have a father who meets with police, and according to that interview with the local police department, or sheriff's department, I should say, according to the information we've gathered, the father made it clear to the police department that the kid was being bullied in school, right? So
that happens.
It's right, of course. Kids get bullied. Now,
not everybody could be the biggest kid in the building.
Also true. But here's another thing that I can't seem to grapple with, and it's the missing piece in all of this. But I'm going to speculate. So I'm going to tell everybody ahead of time. I'm telling Frank that this is my speculation. This isn't fact. It's just a theory. There's nothing scientific to it. Frank, think about this, if you will, and I'll ask for your response. The father says to the sheriff's department, the kid's being bullied, he's being called gay, and they're harassing him at school. I need the kid to get, a stronger back, a stronger will, to stick up for himself. So I take him hunting and I buy him a gun to make him either appear more masculine or to make him feel more dominant, whatever the case is, and then that goes awry with the situation we have now. That in my head, I'm feeling, first of all, I already know these parents are horrible people. Not everyone is skilled enough to be a parent. But I think in this case, the father sees the kid getting bullied, and he thinks, maybe take the kid hunting, maybe teach him how to shoot, maybe he'll man up a little bit. But then that goes awry.
Yeah, he turns out to be a coward killing people. My old man always told me, he never bought me a gun. He didn't believe in guns. He told me, if you can't kill a man with your hands, then you shouldn't own a gun. And he's right. I would never kill anybody. But you know one thing, I strangle them before I shoot them. Could you imagine me walking around as big as I am with a gun? People will start laughing. Come on, it's ridiculous. These guys need to get a woman in their lives.
I think
they don't have a woman in their lives.
He's a 14-year-old kid. If this
get
kid,
him a job like my old man did.
my
old man got me for my 14th birthday. I went to work that summer on a construction site. It was 100 degrees.
I will agree with you there. I
gift.
will agree with you there. I got my work ethic from starting work very early. Packing groceries and having a job really was fulfilling for me.
They don't have it, these kids. These kids don't work for the first 22 years of their lives.
Yeah, you're right. I totally agree with you.
They don't even have a job. These kids that were protesting at the college, you know what they were asked? Did you get a job this summer? No, we were thinking about how to protest at college. Could you imagine that? They should be working.
Now they get paid to protest. Thank you, Frank.
Listen, all these guys.
All
these guys that created these shootings, no matter what age they are, maybe 14's a little young, but some are 18, 19, 20s.
Yeah.
They don't have a woman in their lives.
Yeah.
That's the best way to stay out of trouble.
Yep. Thank you, Frank. It's going to take. Thank you, sir. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk to Commentary in Texas. Again, he's a gun carrying guy. I want to hear what his theory is on what I just said to Frank about the dad giving the kid a gun after admitting that the kid was being bullied. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views, and then the first view of the traffic with Mark Christopher when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Sponsored by Connecticut.
You're clear.
Whose Labor Day
Thank
sale
you.
is going on now.
Hi, it's Michael.
And Christine.
From Connecticut Mattress.
Temperatures are cooling, but the savings are still high.
During the Labor Day sale, you can save up to $1,200 on Beauty Rest and iComfort Eco.
Plus, get an instant rebate up to $500.
Sleep better?
Feel better.
With Connecticut Mattress.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
1 minute.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535.
10 seconds.
3535 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Back to the phones we go. Commentary's on the line. How we doing, commentary?
Not too bad, Reese. Yourself?
I'm pretty good, sir. So again, look, how you got kids, right? How old are your children?
18 and 19.
Okay, all right, wow, okay. So you're definitely you've been here before.
Yes, sir.
So give me your take on this before I ask you the question. What are you thinking as far as this father, the mother, the in and out of jail, they're giving the 14-year-old kid a weapon? This is Georgia. You're from Texas. It's a different perspective than folks like us on the East Coast.
Well, what I don't understand is, and you kind of knew that with what happened, I think, what was it, Michigan or whatever, when the parents got arrested, that this was going to happen as well. But then to come to find out that after all that, after the police and the FBI investigated the kid, and then your response 7 months later is to give him a rifle.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be out of you're as crazy as the mother is. It sounds like, I mean, if you're with the mother and allowing her to do that to your children anyway, you got some problems in that home. Not to say that warrant shooting up a school or killing anybody, but definitely shouldn't have given him a rifle.
Yeah, it sounds like a recipe for disaster. Everything that I'm reading about this kid's past, aside from the fact that it was clearly a known entity, he was a known entity in all of this. Like the neighbors knew, the kids in school knew, everybody knew what was going on with this kid and never seemed to say a word.
Well, I think, and I mentioned it on Next. I saved it. I bookmarked it for proof just in case. But, I mean, literally hours later after I had mentioned we're going to come to find out that there were, quote, unquote, missed signals. Yeah. And lo and behold, people were calling the school. The FBI looked at this kid a year ago. The parents knew. These are all the same events. And I don't want to speculate or go too far out of the way to sound crazy or nothing. But it's almost like they let it happen with these instances because as many times as this has unfortunately happened in this world, there's been opportunities to prevent it from occurring. And for whatever reason, whether it be the federal government, the local police department, or whatever agencies are in the cities or towns this happens, they completely dropped the ball, and it's unacceptable. Whoever that dude is that's in charge of the Georgia schools, you're receiving calls before the school even opened, and you open the school anyway. There's a lot more people than just those parents that got to answer some questions, in my opinion. But definitely, I mean, I'm all for kids learning how to shoot and learning how to operate a rifle or any weapon system available to them properly and safely. I'm for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But giving a kid that just got investigated for, threatening specifically to shoot up a school in this day and age, giving him a rifle, you deserve to go to jail. I ain't even.
Exactly. I mean, this firearm, you got to treat it the way you would the liquor or the keys to the car. There must be no access for a 14-year-old to get that on his own at any time. The other part that I can't seem to understand, and this is the part that's driving me nuts, and I haven't heard it. We'll find out, of course, in some time. But the kid left the classroom to go get the gun. Somebody said that, of course, he brought the gun to school. Maybe he hid it in the bushes, whatever the case was. In my view, one, how in the hell did the kid get from his home to the school with the gun and no one noticed it? Unless it was broken down in a backpack like this kid, during the presidential assassination attempt. Like, how did we get from home to the school to hide the gun in the first place?
I assume he broke.
Oh, Terry, you're breaking. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Terry, you broke up. Say it one more time.
I was just saying that there's variations of these types of rifles that come in, different lengths. I'm sure he could have broke it down and stuck it in a bag. I don't know if you have time. I'm looking at the clock myself. I did have a grievance, but this was obviously more important.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, no, that's fine. I got it. I got to take a break, but you know what, Terry, you are definitely, listen, you are always welcome to call back. Call later on at 5 o'clock in the 5 o'clock hour. I'll gladly take your grievance. I love it when you call because you got the last week's whistling was great. I still love that grievance.
I got something for you. I got one.
You got it, boss man. Thank you. All right, we're gonna
take it easy.
You got it, buddy. All right, we're gonna take more of your calls on this as well. We got to get into the Donald Trump comments about the exclusive video from Steven Crowder talking about the case, and of course the pushback of the sentencing of Donald Trump's, I guess the sentencing hearing that's supposed to take place was on the 18th of this month, is now being pushed back to the 26th of November. We'll get into all of that and, of course, your airing of grievances and every other phone call. For now, let's get into our first check of the traffic with BPS's own Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Hey, thank you very much, Reese. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone.
You clear?
The report is being
Thank
brought to you by Connecticut Mattress. And if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, look for delays. Southbound 9135 down to 32 A and B. Northbound side 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown. No problems right up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slowing Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound delays 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley Bridge. 291 384 moving well east of the river. No problems. Glastonbury into Marlboro. 2 eastbound. 9 northbound slows from exit 22 up to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing by 18. 84 westbound, you got some tight traffic from exit 26, approaching 26 in Cheshire, right up to exit 22 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound slowing in Danbury, 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound delays from 10 in Newtown up to exit 11. Northbound Parkway, you're slowing approaching 59 up to the West Rock Tunnel. Southbound on the Parkway delays 62 down to 60 in Hamden. 91 southbound delays from 7 down in toward the 95 interchange in New Haven. 95 South New Haven, tight 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC. Level mix of clouds and sun, the high peaking at 80 degrees. Then tonight under mainly clear skies. Mild but comfortable with the low down to 60. Mainly cloudy for our Saturday. We'll have a bit of rain in the afternoon, the high of 76. Then Sunday, breezy, pleasant, brilliant sunshine, the start of an extended stretch of dry weather, and a beautiful late summer day with the high of 70. Monday, sunny to partly cloudy, warmer, the high of 77. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. An update on the search for 2 boaters who went missing following a crash into a jetty Monday in Old Saybrook.
At 12:10 this afternoon, NCOM police located and recovered one of the male victims in the Connecticut River. At this time, we are continuing to search for the remaining victim and will continue to do so.
Captain Keith Williams with NCON Police says the victim was found near the Saybrook Marina by 2 officers during searches today. They've been out there since this whole incident unfolded on Monday. Williams says the family of the remaining victim is a person who was wearing a dark shirt, green pants, and a blue belt. One other person died in the boating accident. 6 others were injured. Fire in Middlefield leaves 1 person dead. Region 13 school district officials say the victim in the Dwight Drive blaze this morning was a student at John Lyman High School. Call came in around 1 when firefighters arrived. The house was fully involved. Some of the firefighters who responded live in the neighborhood, says Fire Chief Peter Tyke.
All fires are difficult, without a doubt. Loss of life. We are a small community, and everybody knows everybody or has a connection with everybody, whether it be our kids went to school together or things like that. So this is an extremely difficult situation.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused the fire. Tyke says there were working smoke detectors in the home at the time. 14-year-old alleged gunman in the Georgia school shooting this week was in court today. CBS's Anna Schechter.
DA Brad Smith did tell reporters outside the courtroom that we can expect on October 17th a grand jury to convene. We don't have a plea for either of them, so we're also watching for that.
The suspect's father was also in court to face charges. He gave his son the gun used to kill 4 people, 2 students and 2 teachers, and wound 9 others. In Vernon, police are investigating a crash in the town's Rockville section last night. They received reports that a Chevy Malibu crashed in the area of Snipsick and East Main Street.
Bones!
Officers began their search for the driver.
Sorry about that. That's my brother-in-law in the chat
Julio
room.
Feliciano of Hartford. He was found in the paper mill pond. A reprieve for former President Trump.
Donald Trump will not be sentenced in his hush money criminal case until after the election. The judge just released his decision. It will be November 26th.
Correspondent Graham Cates says the 34 criminal counts against the former president will still stand. Trump pushed for the delay on multiple fronts, petitioning the judge and asking a federal court to intervene. They argued that sentencing him as scheduled would be election interference. There's a candlelight vigil tonight for a Hartford police detective killed in the line of duty 1 year ago today. They will gather at 7 for Officer Bobby Garton. It was last September 6th that Detective Garton died when the police cruiser he was in with his partner was struck by the driver of a vehicle fleeing a traffic stop. Officer Brian Carney was also injured in that crash. Again, the vigil takes place at 7 at the Hartford Public Safety Complex on High Street. Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. A day to forget on Wall Street. The Dow down 410 points, the NASDAQ down 436, and the S&P down 95. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement? Then
1 minute.
Into Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth. Tomorrow morning at 8:30, right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Here at Columbia Implant Center, we offer leading-edge technology that allows our patients to have their procedures done in one day, 7 days.
All right, Jordan. Justin. Apparently, we got an email that one of the callers got through with saying the S word.
But I didn't want the pain anymore.
Really? I did not notice that.
Yeah, it's okay. It was the first caller, Robin New Britain.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I know. He slipped it right in. I tried to jump on him, but yeah.
All right, yeah, I'll be more vigilant.
No problem. You know where the dump button is, right?
Tumulo Financial.
Yeah.
Okay. For retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from
10 seconds.
p.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC. More news and more views than you can shake a stick at. In fact, we're doing something new at ReeseOnTheRadio.com. This is for you. This is only for you, and it's because I love you, folks. I think that journalism has gone down the toilet. And I read a lot of stuff online, and we don't always get to them because, again, we get to the issues, we get to the serious stuff. But I do sometimes read things that are absolutely stupid. So I've decided on my website that I'm going to put up a link called The Stupidest Thing I've Read Today.
This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Do I look that stupid? Yes, you do.
If you go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, scroll down for the stupidest story that I read today. Technically, I read it yesterday, but this is a real story. Speaking of the shooting in Georgia and a 14-year-old child, a professor writes this: if you read to your kids, you're unfairly disadvantaging others. I kid you not. Again, if you read to your kids, you are unfairly disadvantaging others. To surmise this idiocy, he's suggesting that you, reading to your child, I don't know, maybe you're a grandparent, but reading to your child a bedtime story, this bozo says that other kids who just aren't getting that kind of love, you're going to disadvantage them because you want better for your child. Go to my website. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. It is right there. The stupidest thing I've read today, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that every weekday we put up a new story of stupid journalism that you will love. Okay? Just go there now, and you can read that story. And tell me what you think. If you got a comment, please send it. And leave it on ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Debbie G, I did get your friend request. Thank you so much for joining the show. So, yeah, I said that to my wife today. I said, you used to read to the boy when he was young. She was like, yeah, it was a paramount. I had to read to him. I was like, do you know that you could have been disadvantaging others by doing it? And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, I absolutely believe that. She says she used to warn the boy, Ellis. She used to say to him, you're either going to get good grades or you're going to end up in Gen Pop like the rest of the kids in high school. For those of you who don't know that terminology, it's general population, with the regular denunts. She wants her kid to be special, and so should you. So read the article. Please do not take it. Don't even take it with a grain of salt. It is absolute stupidity. That's the reason why we post it. So go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Scroll on down to the stupidest story I read today, and enjoy. It is really, really that bad. For that, let's get into the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher talking about stupid. There are some on the road sometimes. Mark, did you read to the kids when they were younger?
My son? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you disadvantaged a lot of kids. Imagine the kids you did damage to in East Hartford.
Well, I apologized. Hopefully I didn't damage you too much.
Thought
it was the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do. If you could pick a book that you loved reading that didn't give you, what would have been the book?
Well,
am I putting you on the spot?
Yeah, When Whales, of course, it's been a long time.
Yeah, of course. He's grown now.
When Whales Something, and my favorite as a kid, I loved this book, and I read it to Zach too. It was, what's the one? Goodnight Moon.
Goodnight Moon. I thought you were going to say Where the Wild Things Are, because every parent loves that book.
There's another one, Maurice Sendak.
Yeah,
Maurice Sendak. Oh, yeah, that was one of my favorites as a little guy.
Yeah, everyone loves that book. Sadly enough, I have to admit, I never read it.
Maurice Sendak, yeah, that's the one where the guy gets punished. He has to go to his room, then he dreams.
That's right.
Wild dreams of all the
monsters
and stuff. Yeah,
great book.
Definitely one of my favorites because I spent a lot of time in my room, so I could definitely relate. If you're heading into Hartford right now, the southbound side of 91, you've got 34 down to 32.
Thank you.
A and B. Northbound 91 moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84, that's a little slow. Bulkley Bridge into the tunnel. 84 eastbound losing speed approaching 46 Sisson Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84 okay. East of the river. 2 eastbound moving well. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park up to 22 up to the Aragodi Bridge in Middletown. If you're traveling 84 eastbound Waterbury, delay 17 to 18. Westbound 84 in Waterbury slowing approaching 26 in Cheshire up to 22 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound Danbury slowing 3 to 5. Again, 84 eastbound slowing from exit 10 in Newtown up to exit 11. Northbound Parkway, you've got delays approaching 59 in New Haven. And southbound Parkway, you're slowing 61 to 60 in Hamden. 91 southbound, you're locked up 6 in toward the 95 interchange in New Haven. Also, New Haven 95 southbound delays 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
All right, as we head through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours, mainly clear skies and comfortable tonight. The low dropping down to 60 degrees. For Saturday, mostly cloudy. We'll have a bit of rain in the afternoon, the high of 76. Then Sunday, the better of the 2 weekend days, breezy, pleasant, brilliant sunshine, the start of an extended stretch of dry weather. Now, that high of 70 on Sunday is going to feel a bit cool with that west-northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained throughout the day. Warms up as we head into the beginning of next week. Sunny to partly cloudy Monday, the high of 77. Another beautiful late summer day Tuesday. Plenty of sun, the high 78. That gray weather continues right into midweek. More sun than clouds Wednesday, the high up to 80 degrees. Right now, New Haven 79, Bridgeport 75, 77 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Nachos! Hey, I'll take some. And some Frank's Red Hot. Nah. You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
What's better than watching your team win? Winning money while you do it. I'm Jim Costa, and on Cash the Ticket, Mike Valeni and I give you the edge to make every game playable. College football, NFL, we're breaking it all down game by game. Your podcast feed is going to be filled, and you're going to love it. You can click on the games you care about. We do it all. With our analysis, we're finding games that other people aren't talking about. We're turning every Saturday and every Sunday into days when you got a chance to win. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Cash the Ticket with us. Follow Cash the Ticket in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're
That's
fortunate
okay.
that our daughters have what they need
Sometimes
to grow
they
and
can't
learn.
hold
But
on.
that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S.
What was that?
Struggle with
I
hunger.
was just saying that Ron couldn't hold on. I was like, sometimes they can't hold on.
America is change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Oh, yeah. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. It's one of my favorite beats in history. Don't forget, folks, it's the airing of grievances. If you've got one, please give us a call at 860-522-WTIC.
The airing of grievances.
Get them out. It's that time to do so. But let's get to my good friend Matt in Bristol. What's going on, Matt?
Hello, Mr. Hopkins.
How are you, sir? I look forward to you saying that every time.
Hey, first of all, my pa didn't learn me no reading. I'd be fine. So,
All right. Okay. No, some people didn't need the reading. I clearly did not have bedtime stories as a kid. You can tell by that, by my story. So, yeah, without a doubt.
My grievance is twofold. One, how dare Roland take a day off? Because without him,
right. I miss him. I miss him too. He'll be back on Tuesday.
Yeah, I didn't realize how important that guy was.
Yeah, right.
So, wow.
What was your other grievance?
You, my friend.
I'm always I always draw your ire, Matt. What? I thought we were friends.
Again, it's just a friendly grievance.
Sure.
You know, I sent you a great joke.
I know.
Joke. You wouldn't let me tell it. I sent it to you, and not even a ha-ha back. I mean, come on.
That's my fault. And listen to me, my wife gets on my case about that too. People send me stuff on social media to watch. Trust me, I get to it, but I never respond to it because I just have too much to do in the day. But you're right. It was funny. I can't tell that joke on the air because it involves one word. Just even if a euphemism for the word.
Part?
No, the other part. Even the euphemism of the word is still going to be kind of, it's not good for AM radio. I could do that over there where they're blazing hip hop and R&B, but I can't do that here.
I got you. I tried to clean it up for the
I know,
air,
it just
but,
wouldn't because
it's too dirty for the air.
Exactly.
I get it.
It just is. And even the insinuation, someone's going to have a problem with it, so I chose not. But it was a funny joke. Don't get me wrong, and I apologize that I did not respond. I will work better at being an internet friend. I need to learn how to do that.
You know, I never really have a grievance with you. I just try to make it funny.
No, I think
I love you.
I love it. I love it when you do. But you got to bust my chops, man. That's what that's about. I love that. That's what friends do.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You got it. You too. Let's go to Dave in Brantford. Hello, Dave. You're on Reese on the Radio.
Hey, Reese. How are you?
Pretty good.
I wasn't sure I wanted to make a call, but your opening act on the signs and symptoms of a kid who might go bad.
Yeah.
Kind of got it to me because when we watch the TV news, and this is going to sound very cold and heartless, but so I apologize in advance. It's always the same old, same old. The parents of the Sandy Hook, the children that were victims, they absolutely are experts in how to overcome grieving and the black hole in your life of sudden death like that.
Yeah.
But they have no expertise in how to prevent school shootings or why people go bad and become school shooters.
Right.
And there's not nearly enough stories about, one of your callers mentioned, you remember about 2 years ago, that black fellow who drove down the Christmas parade, mowed down 30 people and killed 6.
Mm-hmm.
There's no stories about what was that kid like when he was 12 or 15 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
What were the signs and symptoms of him going bad? We hear a lot of stories about the kids that torture pets and pull wings off of a fly. So we kind of know that. But other than that, there's not a lot of story about what exactly,
Yeah, there's no origin story, so to speak,
and
right?
Some of it, like the transgender Nashville girl,
Yes.
the book is willfully closed on what kind of a history drove her to it.
I'll tell you one thing. What's interesting about that, Dave, was, in fact, it goes right to your point. Not only did we know the origin story behind the Nashville shooter, they kept it from us for over a year. They had a manifesto, which we just finally got the entire thing leaked about 2 or 3 days ago. So, and the authorities had the manifesto, but they didn't want to get to the bottom of it, which, again, juxtaposition here in Georgia, we already know the kid was bullied, was abused at home, was neglected at home. The father gave him a gun because he was being bullied at school, right? So we know all of that within a day of the shooting, but the transgender shooter in Nashville, a year the police are keeping it under wraps. Why? Because, again, and it lends itself to that conspiracy, and it's no longer conspiracy, by the way. It is a willful malinformation. That's what it is. It's willful malinformation that's involved with the Nashville shooter. And what I mean by that is it's true, but it's inconvenient. And that's what they're trying to keep out of the purview. Because this kid, everyone wants to know everything. Thank God, as far as the news media is concerned, it's a young white kid, because then we can go to every stereotype there is about young white men and guns. The transgender shooter, no, keep that under wraps.
Also, we always have to get a comment from Chris Murphy and Super Dick Blumenthal about what they think and what we should do. You know what? If they had any answer, it would have been solved by now. So why do we even ask them the question anymore? And so I appreciate the road you're on, your positive question when you open the show.
Thank you, sir.
Maybe what drove this kid off the rails. That's
and why,
what we need to focus on better.
Exactly.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Let's go to Jeff in Hartford. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, it's me, Ned. I'm using my intern Jeffrey's phone, Reese. It's me, Ned Lamont, calling in. I'm still upset that I got to plant all the trees and stuff like that out in the backyard.
Why does your impersonation of Ned always sound like he's got an alcohol problem in the shakes or in effect.
Well, it's Friday, and Friday the trooper drives us around, and we stop and we visit.
It's like
places,
Ned's on
and we
a
have
lot
good
of caffeine
time.
in an earthquake. It's like
I don't have to drive. And the one other good thing that's going on is because they're putting the new "Welcome to Connecticut" signs up. So
I saw
get some of
that.
the old ones back in my garage.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you, sir.
All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Reese.
Tim is in Hamden. Hello, Tim. Okay, so Tim, let's follow up from yesterday because we know a little bit more.
No, Wednesday, but that's all right.
Oh, was it Wednesday?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow. Damn, I forgot. Those days are just blending in. Well, thank you. Nonetheless, so what say you now when we have a little bit more information? And by the way, you kind of called it that, was it the Minnesota parents that got arrested for that shooting? You kind of preempted the idea that this parent would probably be charged. And here we are.
He's charged with murder, charged with
manslaughter,
also hurting these other kids and stuff indirectly and everything. And I'm glad that. But I got to stop first and everything. This whole thing with the transgendered shooter and all this, and the quote manifesto.
Yeah.
There is no. First off, I don't know what the quote. This is not anybody who has any great ideas, any political things and stuff.
Are you talking about the shooter?
Yeah, the shooter.
Oh, the shooter. Listen, the manifesto, the only thing and the only purpose for reading the manifesto, as we did in Buffalo, remember the top shooting? Those things are relevant to the story because, again, it answers questions. It answers questions about the motivation of the killer, right? That's the purpose of it. It doesn't matter whether or not the person has any. Well, it doesn't matter whether or not the person is a rocket scientist. It gives to the motivation. It answers questions that people have. The fact that you give the top shooters manifesto within a day and you hold on to the Tennessee shooters manifesto for a year says something about the motive, right?
The whole secret thing about this, transgendered. Ooh,
they were transgender.
But what I'm saying is, like today, the president, the former president, gets up and he says this in front of Moms for Liberty. You can find the quote directly.
Okay.
Imagine your kids can go to school one day and come home, the same day with a different sex. He's saying that you go to school and your kids will be magically transformed from one gender.
That's
to another.
inaccurate?
That is what he is saying.
No. Hold on. No. Forget it. Okay. That is what he is saying. Now I'm asking you a follow-up question. Wait.
Okay.
I'm asking you a follow-up question to what you just said.
Okay.
That's what Donald Trump is saying. Is he telling an untruth?
No, he's telling a scare point.
No. I know that you're interpreting what he said. I asked you whether or not what he said is true or not, Tim. He said that your kid can go into school today and walk out and be a different gender. Is it true that that's happening, yes or no?
Oh, my God. They're not being, he's talking
Tim,
about
I didn't bring, Tim, I don't make the rules. Tim, I don't make the rules. I'm literally going by the statement that you made. The former president said to Moms of Liberty, you can listen yourself, you said. He said, your kid can go into school today and come back tomorrow and be a different gender. I asked you the question, was he telling a lie, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Why is that a lie? Because we have documented evidence. We have documented evidence that that's true, that it's happening. We have documented evidence.
The long, dedicated.
Oh, it's a long process?
For kids, to go through counseling and everything else.
Counseling?
Along that.
That's interesting. How are the teachers telling, hold on. Are the teachers telling, wait. Are the teachers telling the kids that we'll keep it a secret from your parents? Is that true or not?
Yeah, in 99.9999% of the case, has there been once or twice? Yeah, that's
Moms of Liberty was established because of exactly what you're talking about. That's how Moms of Liberty.
Moms of Liberty was because old biddies have nothing better to
No,
do.
that's
to
not
run
why,
around with
Tim.
their
Tim,
hair-
wait,
hair
Tim.
on
Don't
fire.
mischaracterize
You know,
Moms of Liberty. Moms of Liberty was formed in Loudoun County, Virginia, because of a 15-year-old boy who sexually assaulted a child in the bathroom. The school board covered it up, moved the kid to another school where they assaulted another girl. And they covered it up, and the father, and the father who got arrested at a school board meeting was tackled to the ground, was caught on film. You can hear the mother say, "My daughter was sexually assaulted." Matt Walsh of Daily Wire heard that video and investigated, and that's the reason why Moms of Liberty was formed, because of that incident. So, and this person was a transgender, this person was a transgender child, according to the reports, and because they made this accessible, this bathroom accessible to the transgender child, they tried to cover it up, and they lied to parents saying that in nothing that they did nothing associated with transgender bathrooms was associated with the assault of this girl, which turned out to be false. Oh, and by the way, school board members were found guilty in a court of law for covering it up. So what are you talking about?
So what I'm talking about, if I can butt in, no one should be allowed to be, easily someone who's already committed sexual assault and everything should not be, just thrown into another school and no one, pays attention.
Good. So Moms of Liberty was not formed because of a bunch of old biddies. So Moms of Liberty, you besmirched Moms of Liberty, Tim. You besmirched Moms of Liberty to suggest that the reason why they were formed was because they were a bunch of bored old biddies with nothing better to do. A child was sexually assaulted in the bathroom. 2 children were assaulted in the bathroom.
That is different from, than saying that no one should be allowed to, in schools get medical treatment in certain states.
In schools, they should get medical treatment, Tim?
What?
In schools, they should get medical treatment?
They should be getting in the appropriate facilities. Yes, places.
Oh, so teachers should determine. So teachers and guidance counselors should determine a kid's sexuality, and the parents not be involved.
Absolutely not. It should be involved with the parents.
Okay, but if the parents, and if the parents object,
I was trying to call about the fact that we have too many, mentally ill people and everything, including mentally ill.
You know what's the crazy part about that, Tim? We have too many mentally ill people, and you just sit up here and talked about, dysphoria in children who think that they're a different sex. And you're talking about mentally ill children, but completely missed the fact that what we're talking about are mentally ill children who think that they're a different sex. That's interesting. I got to go to the BPS Traffic Center, Tim. It's insane. Sometimes we're just right there. You and I are getting along, and then you complain and you throw a grenade on it. I love you, but
off the air.
I'm not throwing you off the air. Stop it. You're dying for me to throw you off the air. It's never going to happen. I'm keeping you here. I'm hugging you. I'm hugging you every day. You understand that? I'm keeping you right in the fold. I'm keeping you right there, and I'm going to kiss you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm going to love on you until you get it right. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark. I'm telling you, I'm going to love that guy to death.
And good afternoon, everyone.
You're clear.
Tim and Reese bumping heads on a Friday afternoon. Who would have thought? Hey, if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, you're looking at some slow traffic in Hartford from exit 34 down to 32A and B. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell up through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 just a little slow as you move into the tunnel up to 46 Sisson Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing 46 up to 48 Capitol Avenue. 291 through 84, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay. Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing in Middletown. 22 to the Aragoni Bridge. If you're heading toward Waterbury, 84 eastbound, a little tight by 18. 84 westbound, some slow traffic. 26 in Cheshire up to 22 in Waterbury. Also some slow traffic on the eastbound side of 84 from 23 in Waterbury out to 26 in Cheshire. Now, if you're 84 eastbound Danbury, that's slow 3 to 5. 84 eastbound in Newtown tight from 10 up to exit 11. The southbound run in the Parkway a little tight, 61 to 60 in Hamden. Northbound Parkway slowing by 59. 95 South New Haven tight, 46 down to 44 New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Level mix of clouds and sun, the high peaking at 80 degrees. Then tonight under mainly clear skies. Mild but comfortable with the low down to 60. Mainly cloudy for our Saturday. We'll have a bit of rain in the afternoon, the high of 76. Then Sunday, breezy, pleasant, brilliant sunshine, the start of an extended stretch of dry weather, and a beautiful late summer day with the high of 70. Monday, sunny to partly cloudy, warmer, the high of 77. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. One of two people missing following a boating accident on Monday in Old Saybrook was found today during search efforts. Encon police say the find was made near a marina not far from where the boat hit a jetty Monday night on the way back from Block Island. One other person died in that crash. 6 others were injured. A community in Middlefield's in mourning after a fire in town claimed the life of an elementary school student. Victim was found on the porch of the Dwight Drive home early this morning. Call came in around 1. The Region 13 School District Superintendent says the victim attended John Lyman Elementary School. Firefighters say the house was fully involved on arrival. There's no word yet on a cause. Judges agreed to postpone former President Trump's sentencing in his hush money case until after the November election. That gives the former president a reprieve for the time being. The sentencing now pushed back to November 26th after the election. 33-year-old Hartford man died when he jumped into a pond following a crash last night. The victim has been identified as Julio Feliciano. He was 33. Police say he fled the scene and attempted to swim away in the pond. And former Vice President Dick Cheney will be voting for Kamala Harris for president. That according to Cheney's daughter, former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who made the announcement in an interview in Austin, Texas. Liz Cheney endorsed Harris on Thursday. Like his daughter, Dick Cheney has been an outspoken critic of former President Trump. Wall Street down to finish down 410 points today. The Nasdaq lost 436, and the S&P was down 94 points. Baseball tonight on TIC. It's the White Sox and the Red Sox. 6:10 the pregame from Fenway. They are in the bottom of the 8th inning right now at Wrigley, and the Yankees lead the Cubs 3-0. Mets host the Reds tonight in the Eastern League. Altoona visits the Yardgoats at Duncan Park. 7:10 on the Odyssey app, and in the WNBA, Vegas takes on the Connecticut Sun at the casino. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Does your job require you to be on your feet all day? Teachers, postal carriers, salespeople, and restaurant staff. Many of us need our feet to get us through the day. Hi, this is Mike with the Good Feet store, and I'd like you to hear from Donna. She's a nurse and a real customer of the Good Feet store who wanted to share her story.
Oh, I have to tell you, I have struggled with pain in my feet. I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis. With the 3-step program, it really fits to your lifestyle. I work in a hospital. I'm a registered nurse, so being on my feet, walking throughout the hospital during the day, I am free from any type of pain. And after working a 12-hour shift, I go home and my feet do not hurt.
Whether you're a nurse or anyone wanting to enjoy work without your feet getting in the way, come see us at the Good Feet store. Learn more at goodfeet.com. We're located in Avon at 25 Climax Road across from Whole Foods. Good Feet Arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Schedule your free test walk at goodfeet.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Don't forget, go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. We got a new thing on there called the stupidest thing I've read today. It's a great story on there, but we'll try to do that every weekday to get a new story on this. So stay tuned for Monday's news story. And don't forget, it's also the airing of Grievance Friday.
The airing of grievances.
So get those in. Reading a couple of your chat room comments, of course, and we'll get into the phones as soon as we get back. But here are some of the comments. Of course, they always come out whenever Tim's on. Connecticut doesn't have to tell parents their children are transitioning in school. There's a law, too. Michael B. says a law, by law in Connecticut, the school doesn't have to disclose a child's gender to their parents. That's an interesting point. And Michael A. wants to know, how did Tim go from trans shooter to kids in school? I guess in some ways they're somewhat related. Kevin L. says, you and Tim are going to make me fall off this ladder. The neighbor must think I'm insane laughing at nothing up here because he's got headphones on. Zappa Creek says, please turn Tim down with the fader. You two are killing me with this talk over. I listen on headphones and it's brutal. I apologize. I'm sorry, Zappa Creek. I'll do better. And Rama says one of the mentally ill is currently on the phone. I think he meant Tim. Listen. Tim has a lot of points. I don't know why he went to the transgender in school thing. That is a losing argument on the left. Every time they bring it up, they're losing on that. Do you understand the reason why you're losing so many in the party was because of the transgender debate? Like, do you not understand that? This is you know how they say that Republicans always lose it on the abortion debate? Transgender took over the conversation that abortion is no longer a factor. Truth be told, Donald Trump was able to maneuver his way into sounding like a moderate on the subject. And that's the reason why the left is so outraged. It was like, how is he allowed to change his opinion on it? What are you talking about? What do you mean he's not allowed to? He's gone soft on the whole thing, and now you're angry at him? It's like, he's become a moderate on abortion, and you're angry. No wonder you guys can't use this as bait. Steve, it's not the wedge issue you wanted it to be because he's somewhat on your side now. It's just ridiculous. The transgender thing, it took all the oxygen out of the room. And you did the one thing that was probably the worst. You got you kicked parents out of the conversation. You maligned parents. You made them the bad guy. You sent the FBI out to take their driver's licenses numbers down. Stephen Friend was on this show last year talking about the work he did in Loudoun County to report on mom and pops. An FBI whistleblower. He wrote a whole book about it. Why? Because over the transgender thing, you lost this debate. Like, as Trump would say, bigly. You don't this debate anymore. If I were you, I'd stay away from it. Gosh, it's just simple, common knowledge. Let's get back to the BPS Traffic Center. I've gone too long. Let's get to Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark, I'm sorry. I got a little winded.
Reese, no problem at all. Everything is fine. If you are heading into Hartford right now, a pretty good ride for a Friday afternoon. Southbound side of 91 slowing 34 down to 32 A and B. Northbound 91's quiet. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 84 westbound a little slow in the tunnel. 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. 291 384, that's okay east of the river. 2 eastbound's moving well Glastonbury into Marlboro. 9 northbound, you've got delays 22 to the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Heading toward Waterbury, a little slow. 84 eastbound by 18. 84 westbound, you'll see some tight traffic in Cheshire from 26 to 25A. Again, 23 to 22 in Waterbury. Also 84 eastbound, just a little slow getting by exit 26 in Cheshire. Heading into Danbury, 84 eastbound delays by exit 3. 84 eastbound again slowing approaching 10 to 11 in Newtown. South 95 New Haven tight 46 to 44. Southbound 91 delays from exit 4 down in toward the 95 interchange in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
All right, as we head on into the evening and overnight under mainly clear skies, quite comfortable, the low down to 60 degrees. Then on Saturday, mostly cloudy, a bit of rain in the afternoon, the high 76. Sunday, the better of the 2 weekend days. It'll be breezy and pleasant, brilliant sunshine around throughout the day, and the start of an extended stretch of dry weather. Now, the high of 70, you'll feel a bit cool with that west-northwest wind sustained at 10 to 20 miles an hour throughout the day. Monday, it'll be sunny to partly cloudy, a little milder, the high up to 78, and another beautiful late summer day Tuesday. Plenty of sun, the high up to 78 again. Right now, Mansfield 75, New London also 75. We'll make it a hat trick at 75 in Hartford, too. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Sponsored by Connecticut Mattress, whose Labor Day sale is going on now.
Hi, it's Michael.
And Christine.
From Connecticut Mattress.
Temperatures are cooling, but the savings are still high.
During the Labor Day
Hey, we
sale,
can
you
go
save
into,
$1,200
what is it,
on beauty
Lori,
rest,
Paul, and then Fritz?
Plus, get an instant
Are those,
rebate
they
up
still
to
on hold?
$500.
Yep. Okay,
Feel
thanks.
better.
with Connecticut Mattress.
Looking for the best ways to prepare for retirement? Then be sure to tune in to Johnson Brunetti's Money Wisdom with Eric Hogarth tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
A successful retirement doesn't just happen. It requires a plan that is custom built to suit everyone's individual financial situation. Every Saturday at 3, we share vital information on how to build and live a successful retirement. It's On the Money with Jay Dorso. Retirement strategies on building income and proper protection from the pitfalls and the latest news in the retirement universe. On the Money with Jay Dorso, 3 p.m. this Saturday on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Wow. 1 minute.
You seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien High Efficiency Tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's
10 seconds.
I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
It's Reese on the Radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. Don't forget, check out the Sunday show. I think it airs at 5 p.m. this Sunday. Red Sox play at 1:30, so you can check it out. And if you miss it there, you could go, of course, download the Odyssey app or go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, and it'll be there for you Sunday as well. Let's get right to the phones because I got a lot of people on lines, and I'm sure they got grievances and want to talk about all the subjects we've talked about so far. Let's go to Lori in Glastonbury. Hello, Lori. Welcome back. How are you?
Hey, Reese. How you doing?
All right.
I'm well. I wanted to follow up for Tim just for a hot second.
Okay.
So it's pretty typical that, especially in California, but in schools across the country, that a child will likely be socially transitioned during the school day.
That's right.
And so they
I'm losing you, Lori. I know you're driving. You're probably in a bad area. Try one more time. Say that last part again.
So a child could go into school a girl and come out a boy because that's how they're being socially transitioned during the school day.
Mm-hmm.
So there is credence to what President Trump was saying.
Right.
So I wanted to just kind of clarify that for Tim. But I also wanted to. I'm driving in East Haddam right now, so it's kind of a sketchy area. So I apologize.
No problem.
Beautiful, but sketchy for cell service.
Okay.
So the other thought was yesterday I didn't get a chance to contribute to that conversation.
Right.
Chris Murphy wanted to get rid of school resource officers after the whole George Floyd incident.
Yes.
So I don't know who he thinks he's talking to, but he's just being ridiculous on every level.
This is a template of that, right? Again, even Lamont immediately started talking about police reforms because of the actions or the alleged actions of Derek Chauvin, right? In essence, we take one officer and he is the fabric of the entire institution. That's the left. And it's the same case with the gun case, with the shooting. It's not the actions of the individual, it's the action of all guns. All guns are responsible for the actions of one person with one. That's the way in which they approach everything. But then again, don't forget, this is also the same party that approaches everything based upon your race, your gender, and your sexual orientation. If you're black, you have to be approached this way. If you're Latino, you must be approached this way. It is a blanket statement on every level.
Right, which is illogical on its face.
Exactly.
It's completely illogical on its face. And I think also just to kind of the manifestos are pertinent. We should know what it is that was going through their minds. God help them when as they were concocting these plans.
Mm-hmm.
And it is mental. At the crux of all of it are the mental health issues that no one wants to address.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever wants to talk about the mental health issues at the core of everything. We all just want to affirm everything. Today I identify as a carrot. Oh, okay. So, but it's completely illogical on its face. It's gotten us nowhere. So which is it?
Yeah.
Is it the fact that we fail to address the mental health issues? Is it the fact that we have made educators completely helpless because we won't support them when they call out kids for their bad behavior? Is it because we won't allow resource officers in the school because we want to be considered woke and all of that crap?
Exactly.
Like, which is it? Pick a lane.
And you're
because
right.
You can't have it all.
You know what? The same thing. I think about Abigail Zwerner. That was the first grade teacher in Virginia Beach that was shot by the 6-year-old. This kid had a pattern. He choked out a kindergarten teacher when he was in kindergarten and then brings a gun in the next year and shoots a teacher. They had the warning signs, but every reason why you can't put a kid like that out of the school is the reasons why they allowed him to be in the school. And of course, a teacher ends up getting shot because of it. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate you. Let's go to Paul in Hartford. Hello, you got it. Hey, Paul.
Yeah, I mentioned a whistleblower for the FBI, Reese.
Stephen Friend.
I'm going to blow my whistle on the FBI.
What do you got?
All these visits that the FBI has with the parents and the children prior to the shootings. Here's what they discussed in the meetings: how it's going to go down, how they're going to be paid, how they're going to be let out of jail after they're incarcerated. You
believe that the GBI? You believe that the Georgia Bureau of Investigations were
GBI?
GBI.
FBI. They're all the same. They all have.
No. I know. That's the local.
Payrolls.
Right.
But let me get out what you need to study, and that is a book by Michelle McPhee, formerly of Boston.
Yes.
The book is called Maximum Harm, and it explains how the FBI set up, executed, and covered up the Boston bombing. You idiots have to get out of the darkness and realize that your deep state is organizing, conducting, and covering up all these incidents, you idiots.
Thank you for maligning the entire audience. I appreciate you. Okay, hey, we got to go to we got to go. Paul, thank you. I appreciate the call.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Jay in Water. Thank you. Let's go to Jay in Waterbury. Hello, Jay. Before they got off the rails, I had to go elsewhere. How are you, Jay?
Right, sir. Very interesting and all that. Well, us humans, we got problems. We're in trouble. And what they teach in school, if I remember, I'm over 70 years old right now. I'm also a war veteran. By the way, I was born and raised a Christian, so I didn't use a weapon. And so I don't have that guilty conscience on my mind. But, I was bullied in school, too. And they teach a lot, Shakespeare. What the heck we need that for? I mean, that's ancient soap opera.
No one's ever. Hold on, Jay. Wait a minute now. I've never heard anybody. Wait, Jay. I've never heard anybody attack Shakespeare.
I mean, it's all right for electives. If they want after school, fine, because that's different. But they don't have a financial course for one. budget, and so basic stuff.
I agree.
Money, and then have something. We're humans. We're not AI robots.
Yeah.
So humans, even males, got emotions as humans, and if they don't, if you don't not taken care of, they're not generally like this. Of course, you got macho male. I mean, I'm not going to say the word, but they need some kind of consideration and comfort, and they need. I think guys should be a little bit more understanding of one another. I'm in war better. I know what it's like.
Much appreciated, Jay. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sir. I've never heard.
Got trouble.
I know we got trouble, but you know what? That no one was promised a rose garden. We're always going to
go to space. What for? Why are we going to space? Scanning yourself down here.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Let's go to John in Washington. Hello, John. You are with Reese on the Radio.
Tony.
He's gone. I apologize. Let's go to Tony in Southington. Hello, Tony.
Hey, how's it going, Reese?
Pretty good, sir.
Good. I want to make a couple of simple, logical, quick points here.
Go for it.
How come in Connecticut here we can't have like a pre-zone entranceway where doors are locked up for metal detectors and screening for unfamiliar people coming into the premises? Maybe registering every face is going to pick up a child for school, so we could figure out who's legit and who's not, quarantine them before they get into the main doors with bulletproof glass, and, have resource officer and main officers come in and check this person out. Because I'm a gun owner. This is crap. I'm on the side of the law. I love law enforcement. I love peace. I love harmony. And I'm not a troublemaker, but I don't want my rights taken away from me as far as gun laws go. And I want to throw in a second subject. The state of Connecticut said there's going to be more cops on the highway to catch speeders. We still have aggressive drivers, which is a joke, since the month of June. And I travel from Southington to Watertown on 84 and Route 8.
Wow.
The cops aren't there anymore. Dude, they did it for 1 month. Lamont tried to make it sound all juicy and careful and loving and kissing, but he never followed through on it. Where are these state cops trying to catch speeders?
84 was always used to be. That was the thoroughfare for the state police. 84 was 84 for the state police. I almost felt like it was home base.
I do it every day. Dude, I do it every day. Where are the cops that they said were going to be in place with our tax money?
Wow.
This shit is crap, man.
All right.
Dude,
again with everybody's getting.
Dude.
Everybody.
Dude, we're being lied to, and liberalism is a mental disorder. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's the end of the story, man.
I hear you, Tony. I much appreciated, sir.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, dude. I'm looking for sincerity, truth, and facts.
I think that we all are. I think that we all are. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate the call.
All right, Reese.
No problem, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I guess he aired out his grievances. Please tell me you got the dump. Please tell me you got the dump. People are very passionate on this. I hope it's not because of me. I hope it's not because of me. I get maybe getting people too fired up. Anyway, we're still taking your phone calls. Of course, it's the airing of Grievance Friday.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're going to hear about it.
And I know that things are serious. Don't get me wrong. A lot of this stuff is over the top serious, and I get it. Especially with the story. It brings a lot of it home, especially now that we found out that there was some, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to call it, it wasn't fandom. That's the improper word for it. But there was obviously an affinity by this shooter for the shooter at Sandy Hook. Let's just put it delicately. That was the that was his association. But the thing that I find, very curious about that is this is a 14-year-old boy who was interested in something that happened during the Obama administration. And if I'm correct, that's a little more than, in other words, it's in or around like the kid's an infant, if not, wasn't even born yet, if I've got this right. So what this an obsession or interest in the Sandy Hook shooting, to me, I find, curious. So it sort of brought back those old bones to the story. But again, more and more is coming out as the days go on. People are going to break this down and they're going to dissect it in many ways. But again, the part that caught me, if you missed the opening monologue, it's the fact that there were so many warning signs, so many people, average citizens who lived next door, who witnessed things that were going on and did nothing, said nothing with regards to this child. People in class, in school, who I guess were very dismissive of either the bullying or the way in which this child carried themselves, that a guidance counselor. Because again, and I'll go back to what Tim was talking about with guidance counselors talking to children about, wishing to change their gender or being confused about their gender. The big argument that Moms of Liberty was having was the fact that the schools were getting too involved in the sexual orientation of their children and keeping it from them. But in my view, what's a bigger issue in the classroom today or in schools? And it's school shooters, right? I mean, it's on top of mind for everyone. Yet, there are no guidance counselors coming forward and saying, hey, this kid might be problematic. This kid may need special help or assistance, or this kid may be a problem in the future. No one did. So, and if the teachers are paying more attention to a kid's sexual orientation, but not worried about their mental fitness, as far as, when it relates to violence, they've got their eyes off the ball. That's the part that I'm just, call me crazy, but that seems evident here. So I'm just focusing on that. That's just me. When we come back, top of the hour is coming up. We're going to talk about the Crowder interview and Donald Trump's response to it, the pushback of the sentencing date, which is now moved from September 18th, is now going to be November 26th. I'm going to get your phone calls on what you think that means. Why are they pushing it back? Do you think, it's a great question, do you think that the Judge Merchan has pushed it back because he sees the writing on the wall that Donald Trump may very well become president of the United States? Or do you think there's something else going on? We'll take your phone calls and your theories on the other side. All right, the number is 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Don't forget, also, go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com to go check out the stupidest thing I've read today. A college professor says that reading to your children may be harmful to other children. It never ends. The stupidity never ends. So, again, that's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. And, we'll talk about all that and more and put a bow on all of this when we return for the last hour of the show for the end of the week. Let's now get into the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. This traffic report
Be clear.
by Connecticut Mattress. And if you're making your way into Hartford on the southbound side of I-91, look for delays from exit 33 down to 32A and B. Northbound side 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 slows Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound delays just after 44 up to the downtown tunnel. If you're traveling 291 through 84, that looks good east of the river. 2 eastbound's okay, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound delays from Harbor Park up toward the Aragoni Bridge. If you're traveling into Waterbury, 84 eastbound slowing by 18. Westbound 84 a little tight, 23 up to 22. 84 eastbound, we are dealing with an accident between exit 26 and 27, just after 26, all on the right shoulder, but a little bit of a delay from 25A up to 26, rubbernecking. 84 eastbound in Danbury slowing by 5. 84 eastbound again tight, 9 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway, you've got slow traffic from exit 62 down to 60 in Hamden. 95 South New Haven slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'll be right back.
Clear skies. Mild but comfortable with the low down to 60. Mainly cloudy for our Saturday. We'll have a bit of rain in the afternoon, the high of 76. Then Sunday, breezy, pleasant, brilliant sunshine, the start of an extended stretch of dry weather, and a beautiful late summer day with the high of 70. Monday, sunny to partly cloudy, warmer, the high of 77. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Traffic is brought to you by the Heyman Law Firm.
If you or a loved one has been the victim of medical malpractice, know that you are not alone. Call 1-800-HEYMAN and they will get you the answers and advice you deserve. Attorney John Heyman is your legal authority in medical malpractice. Call 1-800-HEYMAN.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. WTIC is 99 and kicks off a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
5 o'clock, Hartford temperature 76 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. State ENCON police say the body of a boater that went missing in a crash Monday on the Connecticut River has been found. Officers searching for a sixth day today made the find near the Saybrook Point Marina. The boat carrying 9 people returning from Block Island struck a jetty Monday night. 1 other person died. 6 were injured. ENCON Police Captain Keith Williams had a message to the public from the family of the other person still missing.
That individual was wearing a dark shirt, green pants, and a blue belt. Any sightings from any mariners that are out on the water, please call 911 immediately.
Searchers have been using drones and underwater sonar to try and locate the missing individual. The investigation continues into a fire that left an elementary school student dead in Middlefield early this morning. Fire broke out around 1 on Dwight Drive. The victim was found on the front porch. A second person made it out of the home, as did a dog. Police Chief Peter Tykes says some of his firefighters live in that neighborhood and were among the first on scene.
Standing behind me to my right is a person that lives in this house right over here. Was first one here, knows these people personally. As part of the community, was one of their neighbors. So it's very hard for them to even comprehend, but you know, they performed flawlessly and did what they're supposed to do to their training, which makes me very proud.
A statement from the Region School District 13 superintendent says the victim was a student at John Lyman Elementary School. In a Georgia courtroom, the father of the accused high school shooter was arraigned today after his 14-year-old son was charged in a separate hearing.
You understand you have the right to be represented by an attorney at all times for this and all future proceedings in your case? Yes, sir.
Colin Gray facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. The father allegedly gave his son the gun used to kill 2 students and 2 teachers and wound 9 others. The teen suspect faces murder charges. And some Georgia lawmakers are responding to the shooting.
Surrounded by gun safety advocates, Georgia House Democrats expressed condolences for the victims of Wednesday's shooting, but urged the governor to call a special session. Representative Syra Draper.
Convene a special session so that we can pass laws to address the urgent public health epidemic of gun violence in our state.
They say legislation on safe gun storage is a good start. In a statement, Governor Kemp responding, saying, quote, "Now is the time for investigation and to mourn those we've lost, not politics." Jonathan O'Brien for CBS News, Atlanta.
A New York judge has postponed former President Trump's sentencing in his hush money trial until November 26th. CBS's Graham Cates reports the judge noted the uniqueness of the case.
He's frequently referred to his knowledge and his thinking about where this case stands in history.
34 counts still stand. Trump is also appealing his $5 million judgment for writer E.G. Carroll in a sexual harassment case in which the former president was found liable. Italian culture is being celebrated this weekend in New Britain. The 5th annual Festa Italiano is being held Sunday at the General Emilio Civic Association on Beaver Street. President Peter Delfino says proceeds for the event benefit various groups throughout the city.
We donate to the YMCA, the Boys Club, some to the church, dress up the kids. It's just a great thing what we do. It's just we give scholarships out.
Festival runs from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and features Italian music, food, a bocce tournament, and a homemade wine contest. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 410 points. NASDAQ down 436. S&P lost 94 points. It's over at Wrigley. The Yankees beat the Cubs 3-0. Red Sox here tonight against the White Sox, 6:10 with the pregame on TIC. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Retirement can be scary.
1 minute.
If you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council. Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time.
10 seconds.
thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the Radio. And it is the final day of the week. And, you know, I hate Fridays. I do. I do. I know everyone else is excited about the weekend's here. Ugh. I hate Fridays. I just do. Now, thankfully, I don't have to work tomorrow. Because when I say work, meaning I have a regular job. I own a company. I don't have to work. I'm actually going to have one of my employees work tomorrow because I've got to go to a farmer's market for about 4 hours. I have to walk around and look at fruits and vegetables. It's not something I want to do. I don't want to have to be told, well, you look at this. It's a cantaloupe. I don't want to have to do that. Look how big this squash is. And look at the color. I don't want to do that. But I have to. Why? Because I'm going with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law and my sister-in-law and my wife. I will be the stranded member. And again, I feel like it's me alone. I feel like I'm being dragged. They made sure that I took a day off so I could go to the farmer's market. Not go to a funeral, not go to a wedding, not going to a baptism, not even going to, what's that thing called? A bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah. No. The farmer's market. I'm serious. They made me take a day off of work to go to the farmer's market. And I'm going begrudgingly. I'm going to grumble the entire time. That's what I'm going to do. And they say that I can find other things to do. It's a farmer's market. What else is there to do? Unless somebody else has some ideas what I could do at a farmer's market, I'm open. I'm open to hear it. But this is going to be my weekend. So my Saturday is going to be walking around. I have to find some comfortable shoes, which pretty much means nothing. I'm probably just going to wear some Nike running shoes or whatever, but I'm just going to have to do that. And I'm not thrilled. I'm not. I'd rather be working. And I know that sounds crazy to you people. It's like, really? You'd rather be at work than to just walk around? Yes. You want to know why? Money. There's no money to be made at the silly farmer's market. Money to spend, but no money to be made. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. Or at least I know Mark Christopher does in the BPS Traffic Center, who would probably agree with me, Mark, hint, hint, shrug, shrug, about going to the farmer's market versus work, right? Goodness gracious.
I've never, I don't know. I go to the local farm stand, but I've never been to a farmer's market.
You've never been to a farmer's market?
Not really, no. We have a local farm stand that I go to all the time. In fact, I was there today.
Okay.
But farmer's market's got more stuff to it.
Yes, it's a whole bunch of things. Everybody's selling something.
Crafts and stuff.
Yeah. That's it. Everyone's selling their trinkets.
I'd rather talk on the radio, to be honest.
There you go. All right, fine. Thank you. And applause goes to Mark Christopher, the BPS Traffic Center.
I'd rather sit and talk to a wall.
There you go.
That's just me.
I'm with you, buddy.
If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91, look for delays.
You're clear.
Down to 32 A and B. Northbound 91 moves well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is a little slow, Bulky Bridge to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, you've got delays about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 384, that looks good, real good east of the river. 2 eastbound's moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound a little slow by 18 in Waterbury. 84 eastbound, look out for some delays moving by exit 26 in Cheshire. We have an accident reported there on the right shoulder. If you are heading into Newtown right now, 84 eastbound, a little slow between exit 9 and 11. And southbound 95 New Haven, that's tight 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Southbound Parkway, a little tight 61 to 60 in Hamden. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
As we head through the evening and overnight, it remains mainly clear, comfortable too. The low down to 59 tonight, then mostly cloudy with a bit of rain on Saturday afternoon. Just a brief bump in the road as far as the weather is concerned, the high 76. As we head into Sunday, the better of the 2 weekend days. Now, it's going to be breezy and pleasant with lots of sunshine. The high of 70 will feel a bit cool with that west-northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained throughout the day on Sunday, so be prepared for that. Monday, it does warm up, though. Beautiful stretch of late summer weather coming up as we head into next week. Sunny to partly cloudy, the high 77 Monday, 78 Tuesday, and up to 80 on Wednesday. Right now, Waterbury at 75, Bristol 76. It's up to 79 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Nachos! Hey, I'll take some. And some Frank's Red Hot. Nah. You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Experience relief from oral inflammation and infection at Columbia Dental. Led by Dr. Mohammadi, our practice operates 7 days a week with extended hours, dedicated to restoring peace and comfort to your smile. Visit ColumbiaDental.com.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Minute.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org.
10 seconds.
Free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're back. Reese on the radio, NewsTalk 1080. Let's get back to the phones. George is in St. Louis. He waited until the end of the show to call in. Hello, George. What's going on, sir?
Hi, Reese. When you go to the farmer's market, don't buy anything until the last hour. That's when you get your best discounts.
Real? Oh, that's, you know what? Makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Rather than pack the stuff up, they'll offer stuff cheap. At, half price or something.
Look at that, a little farmer's market hack from George in St. Louis.
Yeah. The reason Marshawn changed the sentencing date to the 18th after the November 5th election. This is to poke a stick in the eye of every Republican that voted for Trump. It sends a message that say some 50 million Americans who wanted freedom, who wanted capitalism, wanted to change their rotten, stinking government over the last 3.5 years.
Right.
They're not going to be able to do that because some hack judge decided he's going to supersede the everything that went on at the November 5th election. That's why. That's why that's why Marshawn should be stricken from the bench forever.
Well, wait a minute. Now, hold on. Maybe I'm confused a little bit here. So I thought that Marshawn, in my view, I thought that Marshawn was pushing this back because the writing was on the wall. If Donald Trump wins, this is a gone case. This is over with, right?
No, but the sentencing date is the 18th.
Right.
And the results from the 5th election will be in by then.
Yeah,
And
but
the
26th is actually, I think the 26th of November 26th is the new sentencing date.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's Marshawn sending a message that no matter how much you like your freedom, how much whatever your vote was, I'm going to supersede.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Got what you're saying. Right. So in essence, right. So it's like sort of a big screw you after the fact. I'll sentence him to prison after you've elected him president of the United States. Gotcha. He gets the last word.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about it. I don't know. Listen, I think that this guy at this point, he's kind of over a barrel, Marshawn is, because a lot of people are now coming forward and saying, especially now with this new report from the head of public affairs at the DOJ, the fact that this video's come out, I think that weighed a little bit on what's going on right now, because there's going to be a subpoena beyond a shadow of a doubt. There will be a subpoena for the head of public affairs to come down to Washington to explain exactly what he was talking about.
You see the conflict here.
Mm-hmm.
It's over election interference.
Clearly.
Right? Yeah. Well, by Marshawn's case is about election interference. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Is interfering with the election. So he's the one that should be sentenced here. He's the one interfering with the election.
I think this is, somebody wrote what Marshawn said in a letter. He said, the public's confidence in the integrity of our judicial system demands a sentencing hearing that is entirely focused on the verdict of the jury and the weighing of aggravating and mitigating factor, free from distraction or distortion, according to the quote. So again, whether or not that's true, I don't, it's not worth a hill of beans coming out of Marshawn's mouth, because everything he did was against the integrity of the courts in the first place. We all know that. It's beyond a shadow of a doubt that, the fact that his wife, sorry, go ahead.
A Democrat court has no integrity.
Exactly.
Democrats have no integrity whatsoever. It's an infiltration. It's a communist infiltration of everything. The courts, the media, the schools, go right on down the line. Democrats are a communist infiltration of everything.
Look, harsher words have been said, but I can't say they're any harsher than that today. Thank you, George. I appreciate you, sir. Lewis is in West Hartford. How we doing, Lewis?
Good. How are you, Reese?
I'm all right, sir. What do you got for me today?
I've got the farmers market.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yep. So there's actually probably going to be a lot of interesting produce at the farmers market, things that you won't normally see at a grocery store.
That's true. I've been to them before. When I go through, I usually walk off. Like I'll have a smoothie, and then I'll walk off and like meander somewhere and try to stay as far away from my wife when I can, and then come back and realize that she's purchased everything in the place. But this time, because the in-laws are going to be there, they're not going to let me very far. They're probably going to have me on one of those little child leashes where I can't run off.
One of little child leashes. Yeah. So why do you want to stay as far away from your wife as possible?
No, you know what it is? My wife she'll go on and talk about things that I don't care about at the farmer's market. My wife's a very engaging, very interesting woman. I find her very fascinating. But the stuff at the farmer's market, she's into things at the farmer's market. She's into chickens. She's into baby cows. These things don't interest me. And I can't be interested in everything she's into. And the farmer's market is one of them. What's that?
That's definitely true. Yeah. So you're gonna have your own interests.
Yeah. This is just not one of them. And she wants to go because she wants to spend a day with the family. And so, I'm going to muddle through it or suffer through it and keep my mouth shut. I will keep my grumbling to myself. I'll try not to be on my phone, just looking at, hopefully the phone won't stop ringing, but I'll just try to do my best and just play my role. I want to be a good trooper.
Yeah, and maybe it's not best to air your grievances about your marriage on the radio.
That's the whole purpose of today, Lewis.
Yeah, but you could just politics. There's plenty of politics to.
This is true. I have other things that I could grieve over, right? I have other grievances I can air out today.
Yeah, the biological sex not being, taken seriously.
Yeah.
The whole tender, you could go on for hours about that.
This is true. You're right. I don't know. I'm trying my best, sir. I'm trying my best. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate it. You too, man. I promise, folks, I will be better. Trust me, I'm going to tell you about it on Monday. I'll tell you exactly how it went. In fact, I'll tell you on Sunday's show exactly how it went. So tune in then. That'll be a reason for you to check out the Sunday show. I will tell you what my experience will be like at the farmer's market. Because trust me, I'm going to wreak havoc on someone. Bill Burr's got that one thing where he says he said, wish he could just look at the woman selling muffins and just start punching the muffins right in front of her. While staring at her. It's a great bit. Anyway, thank you, Lewis. I appreciate you. Let's go to commentary. Is back. He's got an area of grievance. Last week's, folks, was fantastic. If you missed it, it was about whistling, just random whistling. I'm dying to hear what he's got today. What you got, Terry?
Yeah, I hate to take off on the elderly, man, but these maniacal old men need to stop it. I got a grievance with old men that feel the need to wash their entire body in a public restroom after they get done taking a leak. Why you got to gargle, wash behind your ears, pitch your neck, adjust your situation, blow in your handkerchief, sneeze a little bit, clear your nostrils?
Now, wait.
Is this necessary?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Now, are you at a truck stop or a regular public bathroom?
No, I do commercial refrigeration when I'm not doing the comedy thing.
Uh-huh.
And so I find myself in public places, and I have to obviously utilize the restroom once in a while. And it never fails. Anybody over 70 that comes in the restroom, guaranteed after he does his business, is going to go to that mirror, going to stare at himself, pluck a couple little nose hairs out, get the ears hair trimmed up, and then automatic, wash his face behind the ears, gargle, maybe spit a little bit. It's gross. It's even worse than what they do in the gym.
They're doing full-on body maintenance at the public bathroom when you go in.
Straight up bird bath. Straight up. I've seen a dude in there once. The dude was dressed like we were back in the 50s. He had on a white, the white tank top with the suspenders, had his shirt off, hanging on the little clip thing. Yeah, I mean, these guys.
He was dressed like Andy Sipowicz.
I guess, Andy Sipowicz, you're right. Now, I don't understand why these dudes, are their wives letting them out of the house like this? Are they not bathing prior to? Is the water too expensive these days? Is it because of the free soap? People are willing to do anything in this inflation, and I get it. But you got to have a little respect for the other people around you, you know?
Rolo says, where else do I do that? At the parking lot? Listen, I'm not going to lie. You are working. Listen, I love it. Terry, you are always invited. You always have a good one. I'm not going to lie. I have seen that, but it's usually at the bus station. I've seen exactly what you're talking about, the bus station. I've not seen it anywhere else.
This kind of stuff spreads. They're like, man, if I can get away with it at the bus station, I could do this at Target, Walmart. Doesn't matter. They do it. They're bold and they're brave, and I give them credit for that. But pipe it down a little bit. Just hit yourself with a little extra deodorant before you come in the store. You ain't got to do all that. But that's all I got, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Terry.
Yes, sir.
That was good. That was
Appreciate
really good. He never fails. He never fails. Let's go to Wayne and Morris. How we doing, Wayne? Wayne, we still there?
Here, you got me?
Yes, I got you, Wayne. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Kind of continuation of the last couple of days we've been talking about.
Yes.
We have to do something to change the language in regard to so-called gun violence and so-called school shootings.
Okay.
Starting with gun violence, first off, it's bad English.
Okay.
A gun is an inanimate object, so therefore it cannot be violent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's like a
The
fork
other
weight
thing
gain.
The other thing is we don't use the description of any other type of violence the same way. And I'll give you an example. If a guy beats his wife to death with her fists,
Mm-hmm.
do we say he committed fist violence?
Nope. That's a good point.
Because it sounds stupid, right?
That's right.
Sounds really stupid. So no one would say that.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody stabs somebody with a knife, you're not going to refer to them as a stabber. Who does that? Nobody does that because it's stupid.
Right.
Okay? But somehow gun violence is supposed to make sense. You know?
I think you know what, you are onto something. And it's almost as ridiculous as the term assault rifle. Right?
Exactly.
It runs counter to logic. It's because the gun, it doesn't perform any other task other than to assault. If you know what I mean? There's no assault there's no there's no dishwashing rifle. You know?
Right,
exactly. There's no window washing rifle. It is only designed to assault.
And the other thing is school shooting, okay?
Yeah.
There's no such crime as shooting. No one is ever charged with shooting.
Gotcha.
That's not a crime.
Good point.
Okay? And the media and politicians use this to conflate sportsmen with gun violence.
Right. All shooting is the same, no matter what it is. It's association with
go
shooting.
Shooting on the weekends, right?
Mhm.
Sportsmen go shooting on the weekends at the range. Okay. When somebody shoots somebody with a gun, that's murder.
Right.
Okay. And they are a murderer. That's
Right.
all. They're murderers, and we should only refer to them as murderers. This whole shooting thing should all be dropped.
Yeah,
They
that's a
are
very good
murderers.
point. And you know what? Starting that conversation, that's exactly how. And again, it's the reason why I stopped using certain words like community. I use the term so-called community. You're right. Once that becomes part of the lexicon, you push back on that sort of on that group speak or that group think of saying terms like that. And you're right. You're pushing back on it. And once you normalize the correct term, you get rid of the incorrect one. Very good
and
point.
I think if we can flip this around,
Mm-hmm.
and these people are only referred to as murderers, this will have a deterrent effect on what they're doing.
That's correct. Yeah,
Because
the response to it will be
when
different
you
because
call
it's
them a
phrased
shooter,
differently.
When you call them a shooter, you're taking the human part of it out.
Yeah, great point.
You're
Yeah,
criminalizing the gun.
Wayne, absolutely brilliant call. And it is something to think about. We have to change the way in which we do it. Thank you so much for that. We got to take a break. I'm going to take some more calls. Please, we've got another half an hour to do the show. So please call in if you've got if you want to opine about this subject, and of course if you got an airing of grievances, we'd appreciate your call. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842, and you can also join us in the chat room. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon.
Clear.
If you're heading in toward Hartford right now, very
Thanks,
good
sir.
ride out there for Friday afternoon. Looking at the eastbound side of 84, you've got delays a half mile before 46th Avenue up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Westbound 84, good ride burning out into Farmington. Southbound 91, just some slow traffic, 33 down to 32 A and B in Hartford. Quiet northbound 91, Cromwell up into Windsor. 291, 384, okay. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury into Marlboro. No problems in Middletown 9 in the Irrigotti Bridge. 84 eastbound Waterbury slowing 17 to 18. Westbound 84 into Waterbury, a little tight, 23 up to exit 22. Eastbound side of 84 in Newtown slows 10 to 11. Southbound Parkway delays by 60 in Hamden. 95 South New Haven slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Afternoon, a mix of clouds and sun, the high of 80 degrees. Tonight it'll be mainly clear, comfortable but mild, the low down to 60 degrees. Saturday, a mostly cloudy day. We'll have a bit of rain in the afternoon, the high up to 76. Still a shower in the area early in the evening Saturday night, then clearing skies, comfortable too with the low down to 52. Sunday, breezy, pleasant, brilliant sunshine. It'll be the start of an extended stretch of dry weather. A very nice day with the high of 70, but it's going to feel a little cool with that west-northwest wind of 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained throughout the day. Sunday night, clear skies, cool temps, the low down to 49. Beautiful start to the week Monday with sunny to partly cloudy skies, the high of 77. Another gorgeous day Tuesday, plenty of sun, the high 78. More sun than clouds Wednesday, a touch warmer as well with the high up to 80. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Now at McDonald's, get a head start on your morning with any sized iced coffee in any flavor for just $1.29 during breakfast hours only. Price and participation may vary.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The body of a missing boater was found today by Encon Police. The person was among 9 who were on a boat that struck a jetty in Old Saybrook, returning from Block Island Monday night. One other person died, 6 were injured, and another man is still missing. Judges agreed to postpone former President Trump's sentencing in his hush money case until after the November election. The judge delayed Trump's sentencing until November 26th, several weeks after the final votes are cast in the presidential election. An elementary school student died overnight in a house fire in Middlefield. Blaze broke out in a home on Dwight Drive. The Region 13 superintendent of schools says the victim was a student at John Lyman Elementary School. A man who jumped into a pond after crashing his vehicle in Vernon Thursday has died. The victim never resurfaced after jumping into Paper Mill Pond after 10 o'clock following that crash on East Main Street in the Rockville section of town. He has been identified as 33-year-old Julio Feliciano of Hartford. 142,000 jobs added to the rolls in August. That is a slight improvement over the 89,000 that were logged in July. 14-year-old suspect in a shooting that killed 4 people at a Georgia high school and his father will both stay in custody after back-to-back court hearings today. Their lawyers declined to seek bail at the hearings. Colt Gray was advised of his rights along with charges and penalties he faced. Shortly thereafter, his father, Colin Gray, was brought into court to face murder and manslaughter charges. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 410 points today. The NASDAQ lost 436, and the S&P dropped 94. Red Sox baseball tonight here on WTIC. The Chicago White Sox come to town to take on the Sox. 6:10 the pregame here. Yanks beat the Cubs at Wrigley this afternoon, 3-0, and the Mets host the Cincinnati Reds at Citi Field tonight. Eastern League, Altoona at Duncan to take on the Yard Goats, 7:10 on the Odyssey app. And in the WNBA, the Connecticut Sun host Vegas. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, this is Joel Johnson. I want to invite you to come to a special event with myself and Kara Sunland. It's called Beyond Better Money. We're going to talk about the retirement concerns that you have, living too long, health care costs. Join us September 18th at 6 p.m. at the Sheraton Hotel in Rocky Hill. Go to beyondbettermoney.com to register. That's beyondbettermoney.com to come to meet with me and Kara Sunland.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial LLC.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments.
Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored.
1 minute.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
10 seconds.
The info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
All right, we're almost at that crucial point where the show ends, and we'll get your phone calls in at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. I want to thank all of you, by the way, this week. There's so many people who joined the show via ReeseOnTheRadio.com by going to Facebook on the Reese on the Radio page and my personal page. So many people joined, if not followed, became friends. We really appreciate that here. It is important to sort of grow the amount of people who listen to the show. That's the important part. I want people to check out the show, and I want to make it as entertaining and as involved as I possibly can. I like the interactive aspect. I know I can't remember everyone, but I'm going to try my best. I'm trying to, it helps with my memory. So I'm hoping more of you will join in. Don't be shy. And I know some people don't do the whole internet thing. That's fine. But like I said, I just want it to be a little more interactive so that you can almost feel like you're not just listening to the show, but you're a part of the show. And, we're having a good time. It doesn't always have to be a bunch of people screaming and hollering at each other, talking about all the craziness in the world. I want to make it as inviting as possible. So always go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. I will try my best to make sure that there's more content there. There wasn't really a need for it before because I used to do a podcast at 8 o'clock, which, by the way, for those of you who missed the podcast at 8 p.m., it's because I've been filling in here that it makes it almost impossible to do both, and my wife would kill me if I was, doing it every day and every hour of the day. I do have to kind of, we're a young couple. She demands my attention, hence why I have to go to the farmer's market. So I'm not really all that thrilled about doing it, but you know what? It makes her happy, and that I love that more than anything. So I'm willing to suffer through, a couple of weird-looking squash, how much money we spend on vegetables. I have to do all of that stuff. What do you mean BS, Rolo? I apologize. It's not, take it up with her. Take it up with her. We'll get to your phone calls. Don't forget, again, ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. To go there, friend us on Facebook, and just join in the program. And I appreciate all of you who have already done it. Let's again check, second to last, BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher before we get out of here. How are we looking on the roads, Mark?
Well, we're getting an accident now, Reese, downtown on the westbound side.
You clear?
84, and that accident is just prior to exit 48 of Silent Street. Looks like left lane block. Delays are approaching.
By the way, my first, I'm with, let me get it right. I did Wayne and Morris, and what am I, Mike in Plainville, and then Jeff, right?
Yep, Mike. Jeff just dropped. I have a new list I'm about to send you.
Oh, okay.
I'm making sure they stayed.
Oh, okay. So Mike is the only one who's on the old list.
Looks good down in the Aragodi Bridge, heading toward Waterbury.
Oh no, Jeff is the only one on the new list. Sorry.
17 and 18.
No, Mike is still there.
Oh, okay. Jeff
is gone.
Okay. All right. So you're just writing a whole new list with Mike on it.
To 11.
Yep.
5 New Haven is tight 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
It's been a great day as we head through the evening and overnight. Mainly clear skies, comfortable temps, but mild. The low down to 59. Now Saturday, a mostly cloudy day. We'll have a bit of rain in the afternoon, the high 76. Sunday will be the better of the 2 weekend days and the beginning of an extended stretch of dry, beautiful summer weather. Now, Sunday, it'll be breezy and pleasant with lots of sunshine. The high of 70 will feel a bit cool with the west-northwest wind of 10 to 20 miles an hour sustained throughout the day. Warms up, though, as we head into next week. Sunny to partly cloudy Monday, the high 77. Gorgeous weather Tuesday and Wednesday. More sun than clouds, the high 78 Tuesday and 80 on Wednesday. So great stretch of weather coming up for us. Just a little bump here on Saturday with some rain. Right now, Bristol 76, Waterbury 73, Mansfield at 73, and it's 79 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Don't just live with foot pain. Find the Good Feet store nearest you at goodfeet.com.
Nachos! Hey, I'll take some. And some Frank's Red Hot. Nah. You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Did you know that men's health screening
1 minute.
different depending on your age? Trinity Health of New England's Men's Health Institute is here to support your comprehensive care at every age. Our team of primary care doctors will work together with our skilled and experienced urologists to get you the proper screenings for your individual needs. Take charge of your health by staying current with annual wellness visits and immunizations. Visit trinityhealthofne.org/men today.
It's the Sox versus the Sox. The Sox return to Fenway Park to face off against the Chicago White Sox. Listen to all the action beginning at 6:10 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080. Get a head start to your day with WTIC News Talk 1080.
By the way, Justin, no music in this break.
Before you
Just play the
breakdown on the biggest
just the lead, and Reese on the radio. Just anything you got there, I got music.
All right, sounds good.
WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh, baby! Did you guys watch the game last night? I did. I watched it. My back was actually spasming, but I watched it. And I'm not going to lie, folks. I love it when football begins, and then I fall out of love with it about week 10. Anyway, that game last night, let me just tell you, I was absolutely, I was so caught up in that game. And anyone who says that these games are rigged, if you watch that last play in the game last night, and by the way, it was the Kansas City Chiefs against the Baltimore Ravens. If you watch that game last night, the way that thing ended with a toe out of bounds, there's no way you could script that, okay? There's just no way. But that's why football is football, and I enjoyed that game, so I'm a little excited about this year. Yes, I'm a Jet fan, so I don't have a lot of high hopes. I don't see any playoff run, okay? But, hopefully we can keep Aaron Rodgers upright for at least 5 games. Just give me 5, Aaron. Just stay upright for about 5 games. No spasms, no Achilles, no nothing. Just stay upright for 5 games. That's all. I don't care if we lose all the rest of them. I just want to let me scream about a 3-2 record in the first quarter of the year. Yeah, we're number 1 with 3-2. That's all I want. Now let's get to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Dave is in Litchfield. Hello, Dave. What's going on?
Hey, Reese. Really like your program. Doing a good job. Great job. Yeah, it was very telling how Christopher Murphy, I like to call him Christopher Murphy. He's a pit stain on the body politic. But
wow.
He said, he took away the student resource officers from schools, and they said, well, why do you do that, Mr. Murphy? There's something you could do right away to stop these guys. And that officer in Georgia stopped the shooter. He said, it's my first introduction students of color have to the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
Really. Because when the teachers union shut down the schools, and it harmed all the students, but mostly the students of color whose mommies and daddies aren't rich and can't afford therapists and tutors.
Exactly.
Did you squawk about that?
Nope.
No,
because you know what? It feeds into what Chris Murphy wants for every one of those Democrats and every one of those people, those constituents. More reliance on the federal government. So he doesn't even see them as someone who's he doesn't see them as someone who's a victim of his policies. He believes them as people who will stay in that perpetual doldrum that he can bail them out of anytime. He's like, for him, it's keeping them in that state of perpetual need in perpetuity. That's what he wants.
Right. Well, it's interesting how you said that the black community is no longer the shiny new toy for the Democrats. That's why they're letting in illegal aliens. I think that while the white working class, has been drifting over to the Trump camp and to Republicans in general, so they don't know what to do. So they figure, well, we'll just get these illegal aliens in here. We'll make them citizens someday, and then they'll be voters for the Democrat Party. But look at what harm that's causing. Look at that Laken Riley. She was allegedly killed by that guy named Ibarra, was his last name.
Yeah.
The immigrant, the illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
He's got to get his day in court. He deserves his day in court like everybody else. But that to them is collateral damage. It's amazing. The Democrats say we're all about love, we're all about humanity and life. No, you're not.
Yeah, you know what? I always go, you talk about that. I say a perfect example is listen to one of those speeches. I can't remember exactly who the I want to say that it was Sheila Jackson Lee, but it may have been the other one, Frederica Wilson, who may have said it. But she considered George Floyd as a martyr. Like not a martyr, I apologize, a sacrifice for the liberal cause. In essence, he gave his life for liberalism, right? And more of it. Right. So in essence, that's the way that they look at black men, at immigrants. They are all something to further a cause that many people in the United States today, no matter what their background, have saying, I've had enough. Stop using me politically to no end where I only end up being the loser. And that's what people are realizing, that they're ending up being the loser. I was doing all of these things before. I was catering to everything you were asking for because I thought I was doing it for the greater good. And then you started to demonize me in order to do it because it wasn't enough. At first it was do the right thing, be on the right side of history. Then you didn't get what you wanted. Then you had to demonize me for doing the work that I've been doing all this time. And you couldn't you never wasted a moment to turn me into an enemy. I told black men they were going to be right now, black men are being deemed an enemy of the state by the Democrat Party. They're calling them now the black face of white supremacy because they refuse to support Kamala Harris. And of course, that's what and the demonization they think is going to get people on their side of the fence. They're bugging. It'll never work out that way. That's the reason why people are leaving them in droves.
That's insane. So they're saying that the black men are the white, the black face of
the black face of white supremacy. They started it with Larry Elder, and now they're demonizing. They're telling black men that if you're going to look silly, you're going to look out of place with your family. Your family's going to ostracize you if you don't vote the right way, if you don't behave. That's all it is. And again, this is the things that are turning people off over and over again. They're saying, wait a minute, I thought you guys were the party of freedom and of free thought. And it turns out that they're not. Finally, I'd say the covers have been removed and the pointy hats have revealed themselves. Because that's all this is this is the actions of the Klan.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. You're saying a modern day Klan.
Well, when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're all not.
Exactly.
Ain't black enough. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Exactly. And this, again, it's the modern day Klan. They don't even get the irony of it because the liberals don't understand irony. They just don't. So, no. But thank you, Dave. I really appreciate it. I got to grab as many people as I can. Let's get Carl in Hartford. Hello, Cal.
This is the complaint that was been on the longest.
I'm sorry, who's been on the hold the longest?
Mike.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, Mike in Plainville. Sorry, let me go to Mike. Hey, Mike, thank you for holding. I'm sorry about that, buddy.
It's okay.
How are you, sir? We lost him, didn't we? My bad. Well, hopefully we'll get the Mike on next week. Now let's go to Cal in Hartford. I'm sorry, Mike. My fault. Cal, you there?
I want to change the subject, if you don't mind.
Go for it, real quick.
A couple of weeks ago, you had your food at this hour.
My who?
You were doing different foods.
Oh, that was, Todd would usually do food at the 5 o'clock hour on Friday.
Yeah, you came up with peanut butter and marshmallow fluff.
No, I'm a big peanut butter and jelly guy, but someone did mention peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. Yes, and that's actually not a bad sandwich.
I got to tell you one thing. You got to try one.
Okay.
But to try one, you've got to microwave it for 15 seconds, no longer.
Okay, no longer.
Because when you taste that, it's going to put you at ease.
Okay, you're saying peanut butter and marshmallow fluff on a sandwich, microwave for 15 minutes. 15 seconds. 15 minutes. 15 seconds.
Yeah. Don't go 15 minutes.
No, don't feel. Listen, let me tell you something, Cal. This is going to make you laugh. One day, my wife won't stop. She won't let me forget it. But one day I put a cup of coffee in the microwave and I put it in there for 7 minutes. To be honest with you, I have no idea how I did it. She won't let me forget it. Okay, but I will take that into consideration. In fact, if they have some at the farmer's market, I will grab it specifically and I will let you know when we get back on Monday.
Well, you'll be thanking me.
Okay, you got it. I appreciate you, sir. Let's go to Steve in Waterbury. Hello, Steve.
Hey, Reese. How you doing, bud?
Pretty good, sir.
Good. I'm also known as Rollowers.
Oh, right. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how did things go for Roseanne's birthday?
It went beautiful. We had a great night. She said, so interesting that it's a place that she knew when she was a kid, the restaurant that I took her to. She knew it. She'd never been there. I surprised her with it, and she ended up loving it. The place spins around up in the air. It was a beautiful experience. We had a great dinner. Expensive as all get out, but it was totally worth it. She loved it, and I tried to knock it out the park every birthday for her. This one, I'll admit, this was an inside the park home run. I didn't knock it out of the park, but this was inside the park home run.
Awesome, and no shootings, right?
No shootings.
Perfect,
That's
yeah.
right. So we finally broke the trend. We broke the trend.
Hey, a couple of things really quick. Before I really knew how to use a microwave, we had one at the school. Went to heat up an apple pie. Felt cold. Kept heating it up. Ate it, burned all the way down, and it hurt for a long time.
Ooh, yeah. Microwave is microwave is a serious thing. I tried to not use it because I never get the temperature right. It's always still cold in the center, or I put it in for too long and it's extremely too hot. I can never get it right. A microwave's you're supposed to get it perfect with a microwave. I can never get it right. Never.
But I bet you're good with a grill, though.
There you go.
Right?
Exactly.
Hey, two more things really quick.
Yes, sir.
My opinion, I don't think the Democrats were ever really for black people. They just
I agree.
And used them as a pawn. And, it goes back to their history and stuff. Not everybody, but you do have some that really do care about people.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, are you doing the complaint things or whatever it is?
Airing of grievance.
Airing of grievance. Can I do one real quick?
Go for it. That's what today's about.
Awesome. I look at these people that want to get rid of the cows and stuff like that because of greenhouse gas and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I actually thinking about somebody had me over their house. And they actually serve steak, but the reason I bring this up, I mentioned that there was something at the store nearby that was on sale. So I really don't eat meat. Started getting into that. Then I'm thinking, if you're going to become a vegetarian or vegan or whatever, where are they going to get the fertilizer to grow the plants?
You know what? It's the thing that I found amazing. You got to watch that clip of Ted Nugent talking about vegetarians, and when he talks about how much killing is done to animals in order to protect the vegetables that they eat.
Wow.
It's the way he lays it out. There's a lot of curse words in it because it's Ted Nugent, but it's a really great clip. And again, it's you play that for any vegetarian or people who are opposed to beef eating, and they're lost for words because they don't know. And it's a simple thing. Usually the people who are protesting something know the least about it.
Absolutely, and I hope he makes a song out of that. I'm going to send you a couple of interesting clips I think you'll get a kick out of.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for the call. Let's go back to Mike. Wait a minute, I just forgot. Who do we have? Tom in Watertown, did we just do? I forgot where we were.
That was Steve. I'll give you here's
Who do we got next? I'm
Sean and Meriden.
Okay, let's go to Sean and Meriden. Hello, Sean. You want to Reese on the radio? I've got to wrap this up as fast as I can. How are you, Sean?
Yeah, real quick. I was on before and I got hung up on, but real quick.
Yes.
Chris Murphy and Senator Blumenthal, being African American, American who happens to be black. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Because I'm more proud of being an American than I am black, because a lot of the black people told me I'm not black enough. So whatever.
Okay.
So what I don't understand how dumb the Democrats can be, because it's really a different plantation, but the same people in charge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're totally right when you say that. And I just want people, just think of you, forget the political parties, just think of yourself and look at the numbers, the hard numbers, period, under Trump and under Biden. Just the numbers. Don't look at the parties, and then vote your conscience after that. Because if you're number one in your world, which you should be,
yeah,
then guess what? You're going to vote for Trump, because guess what? You had more money under him that you could spend and less costs otherwise. Thank you for your time. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, man. You too. And let's go. Let me say what I was saying. Let's go to Joe in Hartford. Joe, is it? Yeah, let's go to Joe in Hartford. Hello, Joe.
Joe in New Hampshire.
Oh, Joe's New Hampshire. Okay, I know you got to come in real quick because we got to close it, but you got a minute. I meant to get you in earlier. But, okay, so you called it yesterday. I even called it yesterday. I said that the numbers were going to come in under 160,000 jobs. We had 141,000. And right now we got...
I think it was 138. I think it was 138. The deal is this: hedge funds are trying to save the day today, but they failed miserably.
I saw that.
The aftermarket right now, it's down. The S&P is down another 14, 15. So that indicates Monday might be worse than today, like it was two or three Mondays ago.
Yeah, I'm expecting that as well. And again, and Monday we've got the Fed. We've got Jerome Powell with is that when the interest rate's going to get cut? Is that the official day? Is on Monday?
No, that's still about 9 days off. Next week, Tuesday, I think Wednesday, Thursday, you get inflation numbers. Those are going to be big numbers to see how bad the inflation was. But I can't stress this enough. I was trying to get through yesterday to tell everybody to buy the UVIX. It was at $5.30 a share yesterday.
Right.
Got up to about $6.60 today. I think it's at $6.30, but it's not too late. It was up to $19.90 3 Mondays ago. You're looking at a $20 UVIX at some point with this sell-off that we're experiencing right now.
And you know what they should do? Listen, tell everybody this is important. Start small. If you don't have, it's not that you should be putting your entire savings into it. Start small. If the stock is selling at $6 a share, buy 10. That's all you need to do, so you can at least play around with it to see whether or not you like it, and then you buy thereafter. At least you're not losing your shirt.
You can buy options. You can buy call options cheap.
That's correct. You can buy options even cheaper. That's a good point. All right, we got to get up out of here. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, sir. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't get.
It's going to be a sell-off. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody, and I'm sorry that it's Friday, but I promise you I'll make it up to you on Monday, as I always do. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to check out the show on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, right on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. But if you missed the show, you can go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com and check it out with a commercial free. And I will see you. He, by the way, is Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center with another look at your evening traffic. Good night, Mark. See you next week.
Reese, have a great weekend, and stay hydrated walking around the farm.
You're clear.
I will.
You to get dehydrated or anything. Now, if you're heading into Hartford right now, we're dealing with
all right, thanks, Justin, man.
Of course, no problem. Pleasure working with you.
My pleasure, sir. Have a good one.
Thank you, too.
Approach the tunnel, stay right. Delays approaching 56 Governor Street.
Wow. All of a sudden, it starts getting popping at the end. Thank you again, Michael A. You guys are good. Has the guy ever heard of composting? I don't know. You guys have a great weekend. Love you guys. Be good.